Embellish the truth if you must, but make it the truth.
I mean, I feel like you could tell dream stories and it would work out just fine.
I just want to make random stories up.
That's cool too. I mean, I'm down with that.
The things that didn't actually really happen to me.
Okay.
Or in my dreams.
Ooh, dreams. That's a good idea.
I don't really want to make them in my make the ones that are in my dreams. I don't really want to do the ones that were in my dreams. I just want to make random stories up.
Okay. Well, you're very creative, so go for it.
I'm not going to make my dream stories or my real life stories.
Oh, yeah?
Papa, I'm not going to make my dream stories or my real life stories.
Okay, I'm going to look at
He's a great roommate. Quiet.
You never know.
I might look up. I might get it still.
Have a good night.
Welcome to it. Now you got both sides.
Extra. Crunchy.
And this is a new one. This one's bigger. It's very thin, fragile. Even the tiniest
That looks good.
could pop it. And the top say that.
I'm eating your enough tomatoes, but I love tomatoes, and I never eat them.
You're predisposed to aneurysm, so it's just something. Dr. Shepard fixed the last one. The other Dr. Shepard, he knew how to fix it.
On the occasions when I go by Fuddruckers,
Your first aneurysm was very difficult to diagnose.
I usually end up with a tomato sandwich garnished with a hamburger.
This one.
Oh, wow, that sounds great.
Hamburger or half cow? Fuddruckers make the top big.
I'm saying that
I don't go for the half-pound garnish.
Just a quarter pound.
Yeah.
we have to try. Otherwise, I know. Are you as good as your brother? Are you better than him?
You want me to leave Sarah's or take it back to the kitchen?
She might eat a little bit more.
Camera scope seems jittery.
Hold the damn thing still a little bit. So, are you going to be seeing jean jackets?
Are you playing?
There we go.
Are you playing?
Blueberries, baby. Just
We gotta figure something out. So we're playing this in here, the volume.
Let's do the game.
Can you watch it in the other room?
It's like an adult game.
You wanna play, Caleb? Do you and Bonnie wanna play?
Oh, you don't want to play?
Sorry, I can't control the volume on your device.
Exactly. You said you was busy. Yep.
Bonnie, do you wanna play this with us?
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the way that the TV is set up and because we don't have a remote that controls the volume on the television, we can't actually adjust the volume on anything that's playing off the Amazon Fire.
Can you put the Amazon Fire in the room for
We can put
Bonnie?
the Amazon Fire in the room for
She
Bonnie.
wants to finish that episode.
And Neville, you don't want to play either. I mean, I'm not going to make you.
Okay. I'll send the first one out, please.
Sarah's got her Dora bag.
Alright. I just sit on the stool then.
Are you an explorer?
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Is your name Dora?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm after all short for adorable.
Oh, it is.
Alright. How many people do we have playing? How many chairs do we have?
I'm gonna play, but I'm gonna go smoke first.
So these people plus Munson plus Sue Stu. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7? Well, then we don't need this extra chair.
You may carry it outside.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Mommy, are you playing?
She's playing.
I am.
Who goes first?
We're gonna find out. I think
Neville, what if you... Oh. If you want to jump in, you can play on my team.
I'll just play on your side.
Okay, you'll be on my team. You're on my side.
let's see, you and Ernest and Mama.
Well, everybody's kind of on
are
their own
a
team. Mr. Uncle Neville kind of doesn't want to play, so I'm trying to like get him interested by being on my team.
Some people need to warm up to an idea.
I'm ready.
Where are we going?
He's not sure. He hasn't played this game. He's a little
He just
skeptical.
wants to see what it's
He just
like.
wants to like dip his toe in, you know.
I'm not all in.
So he's gonna play on my team.
Like sneaking in.
But I don't mind if it's a silly game because I don't mind being silly.
Yeah, me too.
Mr. Ernest, you like being silly.
Well, not so much I like being silly as I don't mind being silly. And a lot of people insist on being serious all the time.
Yeah, what's that about? Let's stop that. That's silliness. Being serious is silly. It is.
Well, there are times you do have to be serious.
I know. Just turn that down. Alright, you're working on it. There might be a setting.
Turn it down to 1.
Oh, no, that's gonna work. Okay.
Isn't my mama gonna play?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
she's
gonna
on your team. She's gonna sit right here if you're on your
Yeah.
team.
Well, if you want to be on it.
There's somebody at the door.
Oh, I'll get it. I'm not doing nothing. What happened to my angel?
Oh my. Oh my, I only hear the baby cry. My goodness.
Is this seat taken, sir?
No ma'am.
All right.
Caleb, can you do me a favor? Can you pick that up and hand it to me real quick? From the floor, and I'll put it in the
Someone
trash.
give me some water.
Right here. I just got you ice water. It's right beside Mr. Ernest. Do you see it? That Nutter Butter. Put that too. And then that right there. I'll get it. Never mind.
The 3 little pigs.
Yes.
Mr. Randy, Papa Randy sent that. Sarah's real birthday.
Ellen knows the story of the 3 little pigs, don't you, Ellen?
Nah, she doesn't.
Let's see here.
Yes, I do.
No, you
One invested in options, one invested in stocks, and one invested in mutual funds.
Well, tell me the story.
Are we playing now, or are we gonna wait?
We're working on it.
Okay. I'm Eleanor. I'm gonna go in my room for a minute, okay?
Do you guys tell your whole life?
From the very beginning.
He has great taste in fans.
Why?
No, Buffy has great taste in fans.
Oh.
No, we pull a card, Eleanor, and it asks you to, and then you tell something about it.
Where's the bottle?
Where's what?
Bottle and there it is.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, I think
it-
it's supposed to- what do you need to try to open?
This beer is not supposed to smell.
Is there only one person that tells a story?
Well, we take turns.
One at a time.
One at a time.
And there's like a certain person that gets to skip the turn to draw cards.
Oh, where's the game board? Dad, you need to open that?
Yeah, probably do.
Is this a game board?
It is a board. It has a board. It does.
Will you wipe up that water? Thank you.
Right here. You excited, Eleanor? To play?
You get to hear stories about Paul's life, and about Mommy's life,
And about Mr. Ernest's life, and Aunt Dee's life, and Uncle Neville's life, and Uncle Munson's life, and even maybe Pop's life.
What you think of that? Not so much?
Cool.
You might get to hear a story about when Pop was 7 years old.
And got in trouble.
Oh.
You might get to hear a story about when Pop got in trouble.
I just want to listen.
Okay.
I just want to listen.
You can be the team listener.
Yeah, I'll be the team listener. I'll tell you how good job stories are.
Oh. Oh, right.
She's gonna be in
Perfect.
charge.
She'll be the judge.
This is
Thank
even
you.
better.
Yay, I'm the judge. Hooray!
Eleanor's going to tell us how good our stories are.
So everybody tell a good story.
Okay, there's the die.
I think that's a zombie dice.
Ah!
Oh,
That's a zombie dice, yeah.
this is
Oh,
what
those
I'm-
are the game pieces to move across the board, I think.
Here's the Donald Davis book on telling your life stories. We used to play with just change, like pennies and dimes and nickels and
Yeah.
stuff.
I think those are some nickels.
I know we have a regular die in the right
Your
side.
drink cap can be your piece. Let's see. What can be my
Don't we have a regular dice? No, we don't. Let's see.
Munson might have some. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, zombie dice.
Well, what we can do is,
Roll the zombie dice, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
it doesn't go from 1 to 6.
two of these have got 3 on them, so
We're
both of those
supposed to
can
have
be
regular
3.
dice in here, but we don't.
These 2 can be 3, move 3. This one like this, there's 2 of them like that, that could be 1. And then this one here would be blank, would be 2.
Here, this is my shape. It's the bread tie. I'm going to be a bread tie.
Alright.
If we can find a regular die, it'd be better to use that. But
Munson, did you happen to bring any die?
Any what?
dice.
Just one.
Like actually,
You
I
have a random number table from 1 to 6.
There's an app on your phone.
There's an app on your phone.
Yeah.
Is it on my phone? Because my phone is dead,
It'll be
so
on
I
your
can't
phone.
help you.
Oh, look. I mean,
I'm sorry.
I think that's what we did last time, actually. We're like, hey Siri.
Why are you gonna be a bread tie?
Because that's my game piece. I'm the bread tie. Somebody else is going to be the black and yellow dice, and somebody else is going to be the red cap. Somebody else is going to be the button, and somebody else is going to be the die.
Well, I think I'm going to be the big bad wolf.
Oh, Pop's going to be the big bad wolf.
Mr. Ernest, are you gonna be the dice?
no, I don't feel like a zombie.
You want to be one of the 3 little pigs?
Then you would eat it.
Which one of us? Which one does the?
Did you leave
investigate
out
style?
Brandy Smurf for a reason?
I don't know.
Somebody can do this.
Somebody
Can be what I just.
just. Anybody want to try?
Random number table.
This could be Susu. That could be Susu.
Sissy, you
Can
sky.
you find the random number table on our phone?
somebody can be a dinosaur.
I would like to be a button.
I did not bring any dice.
Here's a
It
dinosaur.
holds things together.
The dinosaur is the dice.
No, the dinosaur is the game piece that you are. You want to
I'm
be
a
the
button.
I want to be the big bad wolf.
That's
No,
not.
That's
that's
already
not.
been claimed by Pop.
I'm the bread tie.
All right, that's a good call. I could be a little pig, or I could be Ryder.
Okay, you can be Ryder.
The recyclable?
I'll be Ryder, but I don't. It's gonna be hard to tell what piece I'm on. Hold on.
Yeah, he's big.
I'll be this lighter.
Okay.
Use a lighter
Where
for
do we
me.
start here?
Alright, so dinosaur and zombie dice are still up for grabs.
Zombie dice.
I'll
Oh,
take
dang.
dinosaur.
Alright, Buffy's the
Oh, Buffy's
dinosaur.
there. All right, I want to be over there with you.
Alright, well let me scoot.
We could play together.
Yeah, you want to be on a team?
Well, we could be. If you
Well,
want to be on it.
Do you want me to just sit on your lap?
And then we get half the
Here, let me get a chair.
You sit there.
Here, let me just go get a chair. Hold on.
Here's a chair.
Oh, no, I got it. There's a stool
I was gonna
over
sit on
there.
that stool. Here's
Yeah, I'll
a
bring
chair.
the stool over there.
Here's a
Is that-
chair.
Is that enough?
I thought James
Here's
was
a
coming
chair.
in here to play.
James right there.
Oh, James right there.
All right.
Oh, yeah, James. Okay.
Oh, here, let me get it over here then.
Well, y'all sit over there and I sit over here.
I got a stool.
Okay. All right. Hold on, Buffy's figuring
Let me
it
know.
out.
Wait,
what
everybody
time
needs to
works for
swap
you.
beers.
Why?
I don't even know what happened.
I don't know. Somebody sent you a text message.
Donna said what?
That's Mutson.
I don't have my right.
And the red one is mine.
All right, cool. We got it all worked out
All
now.
right.
All right, we're
Thank
good.
you.
Why is the red one yours?
All right.
You
Well, the Sky is still up. Janie, do you want to be Sky?
I'll be Scott.
Okay.
9 o'clock, did you take Eleanor off?
All right, and that's Broadway at the beach? Okay.
Whereabouts at Parkway at the beach. That's a pretty big place.
We
The
said in
aquarium.
front of Hard Rock.
Hard
I
Rock.
said in front of Hard Rock.
Okay.
Okay.
What time? 9:30?
Whatever time I can get her there.
Yep, well, why don't we say 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
Is that tomorrow?
That's
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Now, what we're gonna do, since we don't have any dice,
Oh, zombie dice. Where did you find the zombie dice?
There was in the box, babe.
Cool. You must
this
have used
is
the last
this
one.
is this is the number 3. This is the number 3. This is 1. This is
That
1,
makes sense.
and this is 2.
All right, brains
This
are
is
2.
2.
All right, brains are 2.
Brains are 2. That's 3, and that's 1.
Okay, you just
So
tell me
This
what I
is
roll.
you just made
You just let me
a
know.
life story.
Do you want me to go get my telephone and have Siri pick a number between 1
I
and
like
6?
Pop's idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Although it means we can tell a lot more stories.
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's good.
I want to hear
That's
her
not a problem. Just pointing out.
We'll go first.
Y'all go first.
story. You just
All right,
want to
here
hear
we go.
random stories. That's what we're
We got a 2.
Well, a 2.
A
Okay.
2. Which one are you?
The
We're the
lighter.
lighter. And we're playing together as a team.
Okay.
Hey, Bonnie.
Give the name of your first pet and describe it.
All right, you give yours
9
first.
a.m.
Nosy.
Nosy was
We'll
your
need to
first
leave
pet.
here
What
at
was it?
8:15.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm playing. Here's a Kiki.
Okay.
I don't have
The
to go
Kiki,
to
Nosy the Kiki.
Yeah.
whatever's happening at 8:15.
What body?
We need to leave here about 8:15 to be there by 9.
Right, okay.
All right, my
Got it.
first pet that I remember was Pronto. Pronto was a dog.
I've heard about Pronto.
Yeah, and Pronto.
He reached a terrible end.
I think I actually named him Pronto because I thought that was the Lone Ranger's like friend, but it was Tonto, not
It was
Pronto.
potato chips.
Potato chip. I named him Pronto for potato chips.
What potato chips were named?
I don't remember that, but that's
Whatever Lay's put out of business.
It was some potato chip.
was
I thought
Pronto.
it means like right now, like hurry up.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Should have named him Fun.
Hey!
Funyun.
The chuck-
Brains. It's a 2.
I'm the clear bottle top there.
You're the clear bottle top.
This bottle.
Yeah.
And you got a 2.
Yes.
All right, it says name your first pet and describe it.
Well, I'm not going to count the goldfish because it really wasn't anything I took care of. So, Gunga Din, guinea pig I had,
Oh.
and I learned one very important lesson about guinea pigs. Don't try to put them on a leash. Their legs are so small that they'll crawl through the leash.
And then you lose it.
No, this was inside, so
And Eleanor, did you want to tell a story?
No.
No, okay. Come on.
Okay.
You gonna roll the dice for mommy?
Yeah, I'll roll it. That little
You got 3.
exploding thing.
Oh, and
3.
1.
This got that.
Which one
This
are
got
you?
that exploding
The
bomb.
Floating
dog.
thing is a 1.
Name is the dog. You got a 3.
What's
got
that exploding bomb?
I
look
thought she
like?
got 3. It was feet.
Nope.
she got the exploding bomb
exploding
thing, whatever that was.
Thingy.
How many
The one that looks
places
like-
have you lived?
Mommy.
Which did you like the best and why?
I've lived in Newberry. I've lived at miscellaneous colleges. I've lived in Waterloo. I've lived in Charleston. I've lived in Camden. I've have lived in Irma.
Alright.
And they
But
all
is
had their
Ernest's house-
special qualities.
Is Ernest's house in Irmo?
Yes.
Or is it, okay.
Well, it has an Irmo post office address, but it's
See,
not
I
in the
knew
city
there was
limits.
something.
Ah.
So, but where, is it Irmo?
It's in the Dutch Fork attendance area.
Okay.
That is in unincorporated
it
Richland
is
County.
in
Unincorporated Richland
the
County.
subdivision behind a subdivision down the road from the Cracker Barrel. That's in Irma.
Irmo-ish.
Although weirdly enough,
That's not weird enough.
no, the weird thing is, the closest city to us, actually, if we were going a straight line to a city border, is Columbia. Because there are some subdivisions further down the road
Got it.
that are in Columbia
Got it.
because they're
All right,
rich.
Buffy, what'd you
Oh,
get?
we
Columbia
get
wanted
that
to
rich.
annex it.
Oh,
Did you
right,
want to roll for me,
I
Eleanor?
see. Taxes.
Eleanor, do you want to roll for
You
A
never
B?
That's what you like the best.
I said they each had their own unique qualities.
Now, you lived in Charleston, and you're not saying that you like that.
Well, I really love Charleston. However, there is the humidity and these things they call palmetto bugs. So, I mean, you know, I lived in Camden. That was pretty nice. But, I mean, you know, they all had their own unique qualities.
What about living with me?
That's my favorite, living with that one.
That's right.
Newberry.
Yes.
You want to roll for me?
Eleanor, are you finished eating? Okay, roll for it B and then take your plate and put it in the trash, please. It's exploding.
That's a 1.
The exploding bomb is what I call it.
So just to be clear, we have 1, 2s, and 3s. That's it.
That's
Should we
it.
do your phone thing?
This is going to take forever.
Alright, well, let's do your phone thing.
No, it's okay.
Which one are you? John?
She's the dinosaur.
I brought my phone to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. How many places have you lived?
I have lived in Newberry, Columbia, Newberry. Yeah, that's kind of.
That's where you live.
I lived on Johnstone Street, and I lived on College Street, and I lived on
Main Street.
Spear Street.
Yeah, you lived on.
Spear Street, and then
get
Harrington Street,
somebody.
and then Boundary Street. Pendleton Street there for a while, for Count Colleges.
And you like the best?
Oh, I got one.
Which do I like the best?
All the places you live.
Well, right now, Boundary Street just comes to mind because, I mean,
Where you are.
where I am, it's walking distance to downtown. and-
It's important to have boundaries.
Boundary Street.
Alright. Where have I lived? Well, I lived in Main Street, and then we moved to Columbia. And I stayed at the Caravet Apartments for a year, and then we moved back to Newberry to Main Street, and then I got in the. Then I went off to LSU. I lived down there in Baton Rouge for a year, and I got a job working as teaching at Sumter Tech. I lived down there for about 6 months until I got drafted. And I lived in Fort Riley, Kansas for a couple of years. And then I got out of that, and I got a job in Greenville. And I was living with Vaughn Sinclair in Greenville for a while. And then I got a job in Columbia, and I was living in an apartment in Columbia. And then we got married, and we had an apartment in Columbia on River Drive.
Uncle Walter lived with us there.
Yeah. Then we moved to Honeysuckle Street.
1205.
Then we moved to Honeysuckle Street. Then we moved back to Johnstone Street. Then we moved over to College Street.
Oh,
And then we moved to Main Street.
And from there, we'll move to Rosemont.
And I like Main Street.
I like Main
And better than Rosemont.
Stay on
Better
Main
than College
Street.
Street.
Stay on Main Street.
You can get
It looks like lungs. What is lungs?
You get a 2.
That's brains. That's a 2.
Which one? Yeah, all right, so this is about your pets. Is you the button, Sue, or?
I'm the button.
All right.
Who's got the button?
Wait, can I tell this story real quick?
About mom's
This
pets?
is Mom doesn't have any pets because if it doesn't have a job, it's not allowed in the house. Isn't that correct? Growing up on the farm.
You have any pets growing up?
We had.
Anyway.
We had a sister.
We had a sister.
We had a collie dog.
Whose job was?
Whose job was to keep the weasels away from the chickens. And her name was Lassie, which was a very creative name for a dog.
Especially in the 1950s.
Yeah, the
For a collie dog?
Collie dog. And then we had.
Was it a girl?
It was a girl, yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yes.
If it was a boy, that would make no
And
sense.
then we had a little Boston Terrier dog.
Whose job was?
Whose job
Oh,
my
true,
grandmother
true.
my grandmother took to the dog. And then that dog had puppies, and we ended up with one of her puppies.
Whose job was?
Took to my mother. Rennie. Anyway,
That's somebody's phone.
that's probably Donna. But Lassie was the dog that I remember. Lassie
forget
played the
Lassie.
role of Trigger in our Roy Rogers pageant.
Somebody rode the dog.
Mhm.
Nice.
Robert was Roy Rogers. And,
But,
yep.
so you rode the dog.
Mhm. And I played Bullet, the trusty dog.
Who's the trusty
Dog was the horse and
dog?
you were the dog.
Well, the dog had to play the horse.
What was Danny?
Sidekick Pat.
And Laurie?
She played Dale Evans.
Who's Dale Evans?
Was she the pretty one?
You already knew that.
I could bark better, too.
Well, I just know what parts Aunt Lori gets.
Yeah, Laurie's the pretty part.
Hey, Sarah.
Somebody's playing pee-pie.
Yep.
Can we
All right.
please go to 6?
Whatever
Like,
I get, I'm
please.
gonna double it.
Please do.
Oh, we're gonna double it.
I got a 6.
Oh,
I see how we're gonna
1,
do this.
2, 3, 4, 5. I got a memory.
Memory card.
Draw a card. Hey, Sarah.
Oh, I don't want to answer that one.
Okay.
You do it.
What is it?
What made your father, mother
Mama says.
sad? Well, I think what made father sad is if we woke him up during tax season
Yeah, he didn't like that.
in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
That made
You
dad
I don't
sad.
know if
Confusing
sad is
sad
like.
with angry.
I don't know if sad.
No,
is like the
Dad
right
was
word.
sad. You were angry.
Yeah. What made mother sad? If we left evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, "I'm fine if you do it. Just
I don't
clean
mind
it
you.
up.
I don't mind you eating all the hot dogs in the refrigerator,
I'm
but don't
fine
leave
if
the
you-
wrapper on the floor.
I'm fine if you stay up and watch movies.
So we're doing
But
double-
Put the chair back.
That's right.
Come on, don't make me clean
So
up after
4.
That's a
your.
4.
So 8. Come on, 8.
No, 2 doubles is 4.
Oh, plastic top, plastic
you-
top, plastic
I'm
top,
the
plastic
little
top.
plastic thing.
Yep.
This, you this.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tell a story about chewing gum.
Oh, I have a chewing gum.
Makes me appreciate this tabletop.
Chewing
You
gum?
can't tell.
Oh.
You can see right
You
through
can't
it.
stick stuff under it.
Yeah,
I
just
mean,
chewing
you
gum.
can.
I don't really have any stories. I didn't chew gum as a kid.
Doesn't have to be you chewing gum. I mean, there's a story about chewing gum. You got any friends that have chewing gum, or you know
Stepping
anybody
on
got
somebody.
chewing gum in their hair?
Going to buy chewing gum?
Trying to blow bubble gum?
Yeah, I did have some friends who blew bubble gum, but
Well, then take an alternative card, right? You have a blue card.
Oh, you can do alternative.
What do you like to do after school? Oh, let's see here.
Like the classes that you're taking.
Well,
What do you like to do after those and stuff?
To
Well.
do something.
well, no. By the time I get home from the classes I'm taking now, what I like to do is go to sleep. But, back when I was a kid, it would be go and watch the TV. Hogan's Heroes and Star Trek and
The original Battlestar Galactica.
well, that would have been in the evening because it wasn't getting reruns.
That was prime time. That's right.
But yeah, TV was the most common thing. You know, that or go out and play with the friends. But
All right, Ellen, you gonna roll for me?
Yeah. Brains!
Brains.
Okay, here's what you want.
Describe your favorite family celebration.
Just hit enter and it'll come up with a random number between 1 and 6.
All right.
I like Christmas.
Okay, family.
It's your
celebration.
turn.
Oh, it's Georgetown Festival. I like the beach.
so, which was the favorite?
Probably Christmas. Christmas Eve.
All right.
Encore.
5.
5. Which one are you?
I'm the dinosaur.
Wow.
3, 4, 5.
So,
Tell a story about chewing gum.
Oh, I'd chew gum and I'd fall asleep with it in my hair and it would fall in my hair and you'd get, I don't know how effective this was, but what we did was take an ice cube and try to freeze it and get it really hard and then like kind of break it out of your hair instead of just cutting your hair.
Where the ice cube was.
Peanut butter's supposed to work.
Is it? We didn't try that.
Peanut butter to cover the.
And then you got peanut butter in here.
I mean, you got the gum out. I mean, that was the problem.
yeah. The idea was the oil would loosen it up.
You need to count on the skateboard. But
I can be the what you call it, tie.
We're playing with style right now.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I know, but watch this. The skateboarder will do this bicycle.
5, 6. Who will walk first in your family?
Guy on here. What's a woke mean?
Wake up.
Who got out of bed first?
God.
I don't know. I guess I did.
You know those little cards?
About when you were a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid, and then we'd have like we had a radio, and you set the alarm, and it would come on, and you'd listen to WKDK.
To wake up.
Yeah, and you'd have some kind of song, you know, like I remember one of the songs that would come on a lot of times was Earl and Husky, On the Wings of a Snow White.
Radio show. That was
And then they had
radio.
this guy on the radio, he would come on and he would say, it's 62 degrees outside, so everybody go set your thermometer.
Set your thermometer.
Great. That reminds me of Phil Taylor when you talking like that. It's 72 degrees outside our studios here at WKDK, going into a little bit of the hour with Losing My Religion by Rem.
By Red.
He's as bad as I was about mispronouncing band names. I mean,
Whale.
yeah, my whale or
You got 2.
yeah,
I got
Wale.
2.
Alright, this says valuables.
What were your favorite subjects in school and why? I liked reading. Surprise! Surprise!
Susie like to
I
read.
like to read.
Why?
I just do. It's fun.
You go anywhere
Great fun.
in a book.
Yeah.
You can learn anything in a book.
All right.
Anywhere.
Press enter. What's your number?
Technology.
My number is 6. Is that a 6? Okay.
Yes. 6.
All right. I'm the lighter.
We're the lighter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Valuable.
You.
Oh, tell a story about getting even or getting revenge.
You go for it.
Keith comes to mind.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my cousin, I used to be forced to interact with him. Still to this day, I'm forced to interact with him. But anyway, when I was little, I had no say in it. So my parents would like go to his parents' house for like dinner club or whatever they were doing, and I would have to play with Keith, which was always torture. It was absolute torture. He would take me out. They lived in this really heavily wooded area. And he would take me out into the woods. He'd be like, there's a baby bunny. Let me show you this baby bunny. And I'd be like, yeah. And I'd follow him out there. And then he'd leave me out just in the wilderness by myself. And he
You
did
hit the
this.
sky and just put something else on my feet.
I need a big
You can be a pig or something. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
So he would do these means, and he would like, if I brought a toy with me, he would like rip the head off of my Barbie and like throw it in the fire pit, or you know, he would just do all these mean things. And so I remember specifically being very young, maybe even like 5 or 6, and thinking, I'm gonna do something mean to him. So I got one of his little toy guns. It was one of those little plastic like BB gun type things, and I squished it under the tire of like a little one of those little big wheel cars. Like I rode over it, like broke into a million pieces, and I blamed it on him. I said he broke it, but of course no one believed that, and I got in trouble anyway. The end.
I have a silly story, and I don't guess it's really related, but I remember in 7th grade, it was a Saturday, we all had to go to the middle school and play off all our scales for band stuff.
Oh my God.
Going in, you know, we had to play off all our major scales. It must be going to region band or something. And so somehow during the week, I had this altercation with BJ Mitchell, and I don't remember what it was. Like I just remember, like
y'all were friends.
we were pretty good friends.
If you knew
normally.
BJ Mitchell, it could be just about
It could just be anything. But anyway, I just remember like and something had happened during the week, and I wasn't supposed to like him. And I showed up at the middle school thing, and I just remember like getting some water like in between and seeing BJ, and I was like, "Hey BJ," and I completely forgot that I was supposed to. I mean, it wasn't like getting even or
Well,
anything.
that showed him.
Yeah, that showed him. Hey man, how's it going? How are you doing?
Hey BJ, how you doing?
Hey BJ. Oh crap, I'm supposed to not like you right now.
Enter.
A really rough life.
Did he?
Yeah, anything could have set him off.
3.
I just
Spent a
remember
lot
them
of
being good
good times
people.
together. I remember hanging out with you.
3.
I remember gaming over at his house in the garage.
Sing a
Popular song.
Remember you kind
from
of
your
bounced around the military stuff later on.
Let's see here. Popular song from
He was removed from their
Is he a
home
foster child or something?
for abuse. Jenny got a good bit of it. She had cigarette burn scars.
From their parents?
Not from the people that we knew. The
Yeah.
people that we knew adopted them.
Oh, I see.
But from before.
When they were kids.
When they were kids. So he was kind of iffy at times. Like
Okay.
anything could have.
That actually explains a lot.
Yeah, anything could have really, you know, like you'd have said something and it just kind of triggered something and he
Yeah, I
would
just
get
didn't
nuts.
realize, I didn't realize they were adopted.
I just remember them being really good people.
They were.
Popular song from when I was a kid.
teenager.
Yes,
Teenager.
when I was a teenager, yes. Well, unfortunately, I'm old enough that I think of teenagers being...
Is it Rem?
No, it wasn't my...
Rem was later, Jane.
No, they were around the age.
It
weren't
could have
they?
been the Indigo Girls.
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. Let's go with a good old classic. We're not gonna take it. No, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore.
Do you know that song, Eleanor?
Do you want to?
Yes.
Good song.
Yeah.
And are you gonna punch enter for me on the phone?
Ow.
Show her how to punch the button.
I don't have any idea. Do it.
Press that
Press the
button.
word marked enter.
So there is a zombie lab for lunch.
Oh, is that
Right.
average from last
Yeah, I'm
year?
sure it is.
Oh, well.
I'm sure it
Okay,
is.
so we got a new number. And the new number is
Let me see.
3.
I'm the red top. Now.
3 for the red top.
1, 2, 3. Memories.
All alone in the moonlight.
Alright.
I'll tap into for y'all.
Well, that's up to.
What part did your parents play in your religious training?
Mm.
Well, I remember going to church on the back road at the ARP church. And then I remember Mom not going to church anymore because she would listen to it on the radio. So when we went, which was never really during tax season, we sat with Granny. And Granny had really beautiful, lovely hands and really nice nails. And she would, like, I would lay down and she would scratch my head during church. And I remember Munson getting in trouble some because he would ask the preacher questions, wanting logical answers to illogical assumptions about religion, such as, you know, there was an R. At how many feet wide would it be to encompass 2 of every animal? Are you sure? Because
Unicorn's got left.
I mean, it was interesting. And then I remember around middle schoolish, Mom telling us one day that we were going to go to the Methodist church now because Aunt Peg was 100 and she wanted to see someone of my generation become a member of the church. But I didn't have to go through the catechism classes because I told them I had already gone through them and they believed me because it was a church. So I went through the Methodist thing and went to church and got like little cross earrings and stuff. And then I remember randomly going to church. Did I miss?
See, when I was a kid, like I know, I don't remember this exactly, but I know somewhere in my possession amongst my belongings are like perfect attendance certificates from the ARP church.
I'll go back to this. My parents, as far as religion went, was so much look inside yourself and develop that kind of stuff. So I feel very blessed to not have had a strictly this is the way it is and this is the way it has to be kind of religious foundation that a lot of other people I know have, because it was pretty much look at the let's go feed the squirrels in the park and enjoy this beautiful day that the Lord has made, more than it was put on your dress and too tight shoes. Did that make sense?
Okay, Aunt B, go.
Would you like me to tap it?
I would love for you to press that. How many?
It's up.
You just need to press it one time.
It's a 4.
Are you the dinosaur?
I'm the dinosaur.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is
Etchings.
etching.
There are 7 wonders of the world. What wonders inspire you?
Remember the peppermints?
Were those originals? What she gave me.
Yeah.
She gave me Gushers gum.
She gave me the little peppermints.
Spit in your mouth.
Do you, just so you know, Kate has Granny's hands.
Oh.
Did you ever forget what they look like? Kate has Granny's hands.
Do what?
Kate has Granny's hands.
Hands. Okay.
I don't know who's got her feet.
Anyway,
I
it's
don't
Bubby's
remember what
turn.
her
I'm
feet look
sorry.
like.
I remember coloring in
Inspires
the church too with the little pencil.
Oh, the little
I
pencil.
was doing that during the sermon. I'll be doing charcoal though. Anyway, it's Bubby's turn. I'm sorry. I started thinking about Granny in church.
I remember her holding my finger and doing this in the book to do the Psalms. Why?
The thing I most
kinda hurt
remember
my
actually,
hand.
like the thing that most means,
This is the
the
page
thing
we're
that
on.
most means the most to me and now is like anytime I read a hymn, like anytime I sing a hymn, like in a hymn book, I think about me and Granny singing them together, and she'd follow along with the words.
It was just songs, so.
Right. I mean, in the ARP church it was, but like I mean, just anytime I'm singing a hymn, like I always think about Granny.
So my card says there are 7 wonders of the world. I cannot name them. What wonders inspire you? So what comes to mind first off is when Dad and I went to St. George, Utah, and we went to
Bryce Canyon and Zion National Park.
Bryce Canyon. Because I remember we almost didn't go.
Yeah, the hoodoos. They had the hoodoos.
Hoodoos.
You said you had
That's
Hooters?
impressive.
Hoodoo, you think?
No, they had hoodoos.
Hoodoo.
Hoodoo.
It's impressive.
These rock formations that go up like that.
Oh yeah.
I
The
mean, I
wind's
just,
carved out the bottom where it looks like you're standing on about that much rock.
Yeah, wow.
just because the under, it's geology, right? So the under rock is harder than the upper rock. And so the upper rock will erode,
Yeah.
and the under rock will keep it underpinned. And so it's interesting to look at. That's what comes to mind first of all. I don't know. I've seen a lot of different places. I've been in the Grand Canyon.
There are a lot of marbles.
Yeah. So you're lucky.
Alright, okay. There we go. Alright, Ellen, mash the button for me.
Entering your number is 5.
5. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on valuables.
Hot that's you're gone.
Where would you live if you could live anywhere? Why?
Huh.
Wow.
Newberry, because that's where my house is.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Neville says if we win the lottery, we got to move.
Why?
He said because you can't hide money.
But you can try.
But it depends on how much we win. I mean, if we win like $40 million,
Yeah.
or if we win like 200,000, we'd probably stay.
Well, I like Newberry, but at the same time, if you had a house in the mountains and a house at the beach, that'd be pretty nice too.
True.
So,
I remember I said if I win the lottery, you remember that Christmas you went and bought lotto tickets? Like,
Oh man, that was fun, wasn't it?
It was fun.
We're sitting there playing Encore, talking about what the jackpot
What we gonna do
was.
with our money?
And Rob was like, "Let's go get some," and I was like, "Yeah, let's go." And
So y'all want to get some? And I said, if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy my mom a house at the beach. I'm going to help Munson with the store. And I'm going to pay off Jane's house. And I ain't giving anything else to anybody. And they said, you not going to help your dad? And I said, I just figured he'd be a lot better off
If I took your head out of here.
my dad is looking after my dad. That's funny.
I don't know if buying mom a house at the beach is gonna like really help.
Okay, now for soup.
Depends if it comes with books and beach chairs.
Yours is
I don't know. It's
2.
gonna come with friends. You gonna have more
Well,
friends and you know
scissors.
what to do with.
Choose the button.
Button.
Don't
Tell
worry
us
about
about
chewing
chewing
gum.
gum.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't include your daughter.
What? It doesn't say that.
It doesn't.
It doesn't say that.
So you can include your daughter.
Or your granddaughter.
When I was a child, we were told that if you swallowed chewing gum, that it would make your insides stick together.
You mean it doesn't?
My entire 4th grade was sort of a scientific experiment that proved that was incorrect. Because I had no qualms whatsoever when my teacher, Ms. Eliezer, would say, "Susan Davis, you are chewing gum. Spit that out." I would swallow it without any problem at all. I am not.
You mean you lied to a teacher?
In a heartbeat.
Wouldn't you?
Didn't you?
Did you never do that? Lie to a teacher?
Yeah.
I always tried to like find the edge of truth. You
Or
know?
nothing.
Like it was technically accurate, but not what they asked at all.
It was technically true because after I swallowed it, I wasn't chewing it anymore.
Correct. You
See?
taking notes over there, Eleanor, or are you spaced out?
Taking notes.
She's waiting to pass Anna. Do you want to pass it to Aunt Kira and Uncle Munson, or do you just want to
You can
press
push
it
it.
for them?
I'm gonna like push it after they start talking. And then I can wait.
Well, they aren't going to start talking until we know what the story they got.
Is that like the teacher that you jumped out of the first story window?
No,
I didn't do that.
Huh?
I did not do
Uncle
that.
That was
Dad.
it was a substitute teacher.
It was a
They don't
substitute
count.
that used to teach
I
on the
thought Robert
third
did that.
floor, but she was subbing on the first floor, and somebody in the class. Do you remember this story?
I thought Robert did that to somebody at the high
No,
school.
couldn't have been Robert.
Robert doesn't do stuff like
Couldn't
that.
have
It
been
must have
Robert.
been Danny then.
Might have been Danny. Might have
I don't know.
been. Might have been Dad or Uncle Walter. But
Mine
they
a
said
friend
they
of
jumped.
Uncle
Oh, I can't take it. I'm jumping out.
I was a friend of Uncle Walker.
Oh, this is our card?
Yeah.
All right. As you were growing up, in which room did your family spend most of its time? I mean, I would say probably the back, like living room area where the TV was. I remember us spending a lot of time back there, like on the couch, and at the end of the day. But in the wintertime, I remember we had the wood stove in what became the pool room, and that was like the room to go to in the morning to get ready because that was where the wood was burning and it was warm.
We had a wood stove in
It
the
was
pool room.
cold.
In the pool room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, with that big metal box was kind of
Yeah.
over in the corner.
Yeah, we had a big old wood
I remember
stove.
the mural in
I mean,
there.
it wasn't like it was a wood stove with pipes that went up to the chimney. I mean, you don't remember that? I remember that because you come downstairs and there wasn't any carpet on the floor, so the hardwood floors were just cold as crap. You'd be like running into the room where the wood was burning.
I must have done that without me.
It was before your time.
Before my time.
Before your time.
Might have
I
been.
guess Kira had to go somewhere else. So.
All right, Mr. Ernest is turning over.
So what? Two.
Move 2
Little
paces.
bottle cap.
Yep.
1, 2. What is that? Name your.
Name your uncles and share a memory of one.
Office though.
Well,
We spent a lot of time with the computer.
technically speaking, I don't have an uncle per se because my dad was an only child and my mom had 2 sisters. But, well, I mean, yeah, I guess you can count
Their husband.
their husbands, yeah. Uncle Leonard was a firefighter in Baltimore. In fact, he rose to be a battalion chief before he retired. But
Let me brush your hair.
didn't spend a lot. We didn't spend a lot of time with them because they were in Baltimore and we were either down in Coral Gables or Batesburg. So actually, the person who I call uncle that I remember the most though was Uncle Albert, who's technically my granduncle, because he was Ollie's sister, and after Ollie passed on, he came up to live with us. And,
Uncle Albert.
yeah.
When does the game end?
When we get to the end.
When we get to the end.
And the reason the house
I
was so
should have
hot.
asked you to bring Trivial Pursuit.
Oh, the insulation.
Did
Oh, like
you
with
wanna
the. you
see
talking
what
about
Bonnie's
cats?
up
The cats had eaten the insulation.
Yeah.
And there
Probably
was
watch the TV.
no
Yeah.
there was no metal underneath.
Mommy,
It
should
did
have
not.
asked you
You're the
Gramps
next
was our
person.
contract.
Oh, right. No, you told me
Guess
that.
what?
Like,
This is
to
how
eat,
it's
like,
gonna
whatever
work
it
out.
It was
While
coated
he
with
was
varnish.
bunny
It's gonna be
stuff.
alright.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
that's
so
right.
they're
The
gonna be able
person
to
is
the
gonna,
insulation,
after
and
they hit
underneath the
it, they're gonna
insulation,
pass
there
it
was
to
no
the
pipe.
next person.
Yep.
And then make sure the
taking the
screen
low
doesn't
bid.
go gray around.
We got
It
it.
looked like
We got
it was
We
there
got it.
because they had
That's
this.
the story, and that's how it's gonna
There was
work.
nothing.
Go
underneath
check
it.
on
When I was
go check on
pregnant
Bonnie and Sarah.
with
Yeah,
Buffy, it was so hot. It was so hot, and we kept turning the air conditioning down, and it never got any cooler in the house ever. I thought I was going to die. I mean, I really did. It was so hot. And I remember we got an oil heater in the bathroom, and I remember pulling y'all into the bathroom,
I heard
reading
that.
to y'all. Remember?
I heard the oil heater.
Because
yeah.
because it was so cold in the house. I mean, I pulled y'all into the bathroom and read to you in there because it was too cold in the rest of the house for us to even be in there.
You talking about the bathroom downstairs
Yeah.
with the gray heater?
Right,
Yeah, I remember reading in there.
right. Because it was too cold in the rest of the house for y'all even to be in there.
It was pretty cool. I remember it was cold in the mornings.
Wait.
Yeah.
I mean, like you could see your breath.
Yeah.
But I
That's a
didn't.
cool house though.
But I
I mean,
kept
I
turning
don't know
the heat
about the
up.
heat situation or any of that stuff, but like man.
But I
that-
kept
that
turning the
was a
heat
cool
up and the
house.
heat wouldn't work.
Man, that was a cool house.
The mommy?
Man. Well, what you call it has it now.
Oh yeah, the Shepherd's over there now. It's funny because like we used to jam at Greg Nye's house, which is Mr. Jeremiah's old house across the street, and the layout of that house is almost identical to our old house. Like even the library area, like with the shelving, is exactly the same as like the old house.
Yep.
You could sit in there, we'd be sitting there jamming and be like, "This is like
Deja vu all
It
over.
really is. I mean, it must be the same contract.
It was my turn. I punched enter and
It's
I got a
almost
3.
completely identical.
Which one is
I am the red cap.
1, 2, 3. It says name your uncles.
Tell a story.
Tell a story about your uncles.
So that would. Now your uncles would be.
I remember selling Girl Scout cookies
With your
and
uncle.
going to the office, Pop's office, and asking to
Pop's
talk to
brother.
Uncle Walter about buying some Girl Scout cookies.
Pop's brother
Yep.
would be your father.
Your
The
uncle.
Yep.
Uncle.
And I went back there and had his little cowboy boots up on the desk, and he was like, "Give me your sales pitch." So I remember going, I'm a Girl Scout, and I have cookies to sell. And he's like, "What percentage actually goes to the Girl Scouts?" And he just like questions like I didn't quite understand, and I remember like going home very discouraged and telling Dad what had happened, and Dad's going, "Oh, he'll buy this many of this kind."
That's right.
So, and he did.
Are those long popsicles in there?
Yes, there's still popsicles in there.
No, she's talking about the fan.
Those are wooden slats that help keep it stiff.
Did you want to do it for Aunt B or Aunt B?
I got a six.
that was Mr. Ernest's thing that I took.
I mean, I don't know
Dinosaur.
I don't know how to open the phone.
2, 3,
So
Really?
4, 5, 6. What does that
Did
say?
you really take it?
I really didn't get a 6 months, and I just don't know how to
Describe your
open
first meeting with the person on your right.
first meeting.
Yep.
With
your
me.
With Jane.
Janie?
What was the first memory you have of hanging out with Jane?
Here, I'm actually going to get him to get something to drink. So why don't you tell about your first memory with Eleanor? I don't think Eleanor knows.
I counted your toes and fingers twice.
With the little mask.
So here's what happened, Eleanor. We were having a brokerage conversion.
Conversion?
Yep. And you weren't due yet. So we didn't think you were coming yet. But you did. And I actually got a phone call and a text message that you were born. Yep. At 12:40 in the morning.
12:40 a.m. Just like
12:40
WKDK.
a.m.
Or 12:40 for him.
WKDK.
Yep. That's when you were born, 12:40 a.m.
That's funny.
And WKDK came on.
Just like that. And so Pop and I were in Dallas because they were telling us how great it was going to be, this thing that they were changing. And
How great it was gonna be.
yeah, they were telling us that. And so we came back, and I was like, "Well, Dad, you want to go home?" He's like, "We're going to the hospital." And I was like, "What is she doing? Really?" He's like, "I'm seeing my granddaughter." Like, what are you talking
I'm going to
about?
see my granddaughter.
We're going to the hospital, Bubby. Drive to Lexington. I was like, that's not the way home. So we went to
Well,
the
this
hospital.
wasn't that far out of the way.
We went to the hospital.
Unless you had gone to Charlotte.
We probably had gone to Charlotte, yeah. Anyway, so
And you
we,
meant to see me.
That's
yeah, we
right.
came to see
Going
you.
to see me.
But I had a cold.
So you can go see her.
I
She
know I had
saw
a
it.
mask.
Her and Pop
Yeah.
had little masks. Like you look at them, they're like holding Eleanor. They have like masks on.
Oh.
Yep. So are you sick of hearing the story already?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat oatmeal cream pies now.
And you were adorable.
I counted your toes and fingers twice.
And then I hit the
Just
road.
make sure
Did
you
you
had.
count 40?
No,
No,
she counted 10.
that would have been weird. I counted 10 and 10, and then I counted 10 and 10.
That's like 40?
It does.
It does.
I stand corrected about that. I wasn't counting to 40, just so you know, I was counting to 10 4 times.
That's the way I count when I'm jumping rope. I don't count to 40, I count to 10 4 times. It's just easier.
So I had a cold and I had a mask on, and you had 10 fingers and 10 toes, not 40 fingers or 40 toes, because that would have been weird. Yeah. Or 41, that would have been odd.
42 would have been the right answer.
42 is always the right answer.
And then we got in the car and we came home, because Mommy had to stay in the hospital. Mommy said the food was pretty good though. She had
Once
a
Maggie
menu.
got me on a list.
She had a menu. And she just like room service. Like, hello, I would like a cheeseburger, add fries, hold pickle. Thank you. And they said that your insurance company's going to pay $700 for that. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's it.
That's good stuff.
End of
No,
story.
thank you.
It was hot in here.
True.
A little warm.
Well, it was really cold when we came up from the beach. So I
Can you cut on
turned
the
it.
fan?
Valuable.
Valuable.
Eleanor, we're going to cut on the fan because it's hot.
Well, we can turn the air
What
conditioning
would
back
you
down. It's
tell
just really
someone
cold
who
when we came
asked
from the
if
beach, so I turned
life
it up to
is
75.
worthwhile?
Let me turn
Repeat
it
that,
Sure.
Dad.
What would you tell somebody? Someone who asks if life is worthwhile? Well, of course it is. You know, every day's worthwhile.
That immediately makes me think of that.
That Beatles song.
Oh no, that's a good one too. I was thinking of Joseph Campbell.
Oh yeah.
In the Bill Moyers interviews, it gets to some point where he's
I
like,
think old Louis Armstrong.
all life is sorrowful, but it's worth it. You know, get out there and do it. I mean, he'd say the same thing.
I think of Louis Armstrong singing
It's a wonderful world. Yeah, that's a good one too.
That was our wedding song.
That's a good song.
Okay,
I
I'll put it back
see
down
the
to 74.
trees are green.
Okay.
Railroad.
Yeah, the center one.
75. You want it back down to 73?
Yeah.
Cold.
Not every day will be good, but they'll be good in every day.
That's so true.
There we go. Where am I, that lady?
It says we're at 75 in here, but I turned it down to 73.
What you want?
That's good.
Oh.
Baby Sarah, where's my Sky? Where'd Sky go?
Eleanor, it will be okay if we turn on the fan. What do you need to do? Turn to that worry on your shoulder. What are you going to do? Turn to your worry.
Tell
What
her
are
to
you
have
going to do?
some. Tell her to have some oatmeal quick pie.
Have some peace.
Turn to your worry. Turn to your worry. What you going to do? Flick it and then what? Kick it. Get out of here. Okay. Now we can turn on the
Get out
fan.
of here.
Now
Eleanor, are you gonna go cut on the fan? Cause you know which one cuts the fan on, don't you?
Yep. Now you can do it.
No, I'm throwing it into the ocean.
Oh, go throw them in the
Throw
ocean.
that worry in the ocean. Okay, now I'm 3. 1, 2, 3. Sing a popular song from your teenage years.
Oh.
Like gecko.
Beyond.
Move out the balcony window.
Alright, go cut the fan on now that the worry's gone.
Get you down into waste of time. Waste of time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have your fun in the bright sunshine. Bright sunshine. Okay, there you go. It's Munson and Kira's turn.
I think Kira's laying down in bed.
Munson, it's your turn.
My turn? Oh no, I missed the story.
No, you missed a song.
I missed the song. Oh, song.
Sing a song from your teenage years. I sang Be Young, Be Foolish, and Be Happy.
Oh, that's a good song.
That's a teenage year
Who
song.
does that song?
The Tan.
The Tams. Oh, I have to hit a button? Or can I just roll the dice
You
twice?
can just roll the dice.
Where's the dice twice?
Whoa!
Girl.
Sorry. 2 plus 1 is 3. 1, 2, 3.
Etching.
Etchings. Tell about a family member who suffered ill health or death because a medical discovery didn't come soon enough.
Really specific.
I remember
Okay.
Judy Watt. Something was wrong. Robbie's mom. Something was wrong with her for a real long time, and she kept going to the doctor, and they kept saying, "There's not a problem. There's not a problem. There's not a problem." That's not happening.
Well,
And then eventually they went and said,
it was uterine cancer. I mean, when they identified it, it was.
but she was sick for a while before then.
That's a very specific question. I would not begrudge you pulling a different card.
I could take an alternative.
You could.
Yeah.
Or even another
I mean, the
card.
thing that comes to mind with me is Walter, but it's like they just didn't know. You know, I mean, they knew he had bad blood pressure and all that stuff, but like, I mean, an aneurysm's in you for a while,
but
right?
the thing is, it wasn't the medical discovery didn't come. It was that he didn't go to the
Medicine.
doctor and take the blood pressure medicine.
Right.
I mean, if he'd taken the blood pressure medicine,
Right. It's not that the
the
medical
discovery was
cut,
there.
right,
They
right.
knew exactly what to take.
Right.
Their dad takes the blood
Right.
pressure medicine. Uncle
Right.
Walter just didn't take it.
Uncle Ralph takes blood pressure though.
Oh, good. It's hereditary.
I'll be taking it too then. All right,
know,
So we might all three of us be taking it.
One of the things that
You
comes
ever
to
had
mind
your
for
blood
me
pressure
is
checked?
Grandma McCorley had diabetes very badly, and now they would handle that very differently
I need to eat
than they did then.
So do I.
She was a riddle diabetic, and now they have a lot of medication that they can do that they couldn't do then.
Yeah.
Look
So
at
that
Alan
she
taking
would
care of
probably have
Sarah.
lived
Yeah.
another 20 years.
Thank you, Alan.
now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's not a.
You're taking care of Sarah.
Right.
Eleanor,
Anyway,
did you
take
and
an
baby
alternative
Sarah want to come color? Did you want to take this? Did you want to take that over there and color some?
What do you want to be when
Be
you
sure to
grow
share
up?
with baby
And
Sarah.
There's a
think
spiral
you
graph
brought up
over there,
what you
Eleanor.
did.
You ever played with
What
that?
do I want to be?
Spygraph's
I mean, I'm pretty
awesome.
happy with what I am, you
You see
know?
that thing on that dress
That's an
I bought?
alternative card.
Yeah, I'll take-
Keep you on
Good,
stand.
as you
On the middle of the table, there's a little tin box.
Take an alternative card.
Tin box.
Take an
I mean,
alternative.
would it be bad if I was like, well, when I grow up, I want to be like Dad?
Do you see
Because
it?
that's what I want to be. I want to be like Dad when I grow up.
If you bring it to me, I'll show you how to play with it. If you want. It's pretty neat. You can have pretty
There's
cool
two
drawings.
options to hold that.
some
One is
help
3.
doing it at first.
So valuables.
Can I show you?
How did you earn your first money? How much? Well, the first job I had was when I was in grad school as a teaching assistant. I mean, unless you want to count odd jobs around the house and whatnot. And it was $500 a month for 10 months. So
we got this blank piece of paper here.
And although I had my eye on something I wanted to get, so I asked whether or not I could have it all at once, and they said no for some strange reason.
What was it you wanted to get?
I wanted to get a computer. I mean, this was back in fact, it was a Macintosh, and that was back in the days when they were more expensive than they are now.
I got 4.
Alright. Which one are you?
On the red top.
1, 2, 3,
When it's handy.
what's that one say?
Well, I already had a TRS-80 color computer.
What nicknames did you
Macintosh
have,
was a
like,
step up.
hate,
Well-
or wish you had?
Well, not only that, but by 1987, I mean...
Jane Coate decided one day that I couldn't be called Jamie because she was Jane and people might confuse us. So she started calling me Jane Foot because I had big feet.
Who is this?
Jane
Coate.
That's fun.
I mean,
Jane.
You might want to make sure that all these inner bridges are on the page.
Now you can call her Jane Balboa.
Well, you must
Hey
have paid
Siri, pick a
that.
number between 1 and 6.
yeah, I didn't really like it at the time because I kept trying to explain to her that
6.
by her being
One.
called Jane and me being called Jamie,
You were already different.
you were already, I didn't, yeah.
See, Bubba, you got
Isn't that
describe your
awesome?
favorite childhood toy or game.
Barbie, no doubt. Yup.
Really?
Yup.
Hands down, Barbie.
Hands down Barbie. I love those
Like the
things.
dream house and the
Yeah, I had the
car
rocker
and-
bus.
We saved up money for that rocker bus
We
too.
saved up money. We went to in my memory, we went to Toys R Us at like midnight
Yeah.
to buy the Barbie rocker bus.
Because
Yep.
it
I had
took
the
us a long
Corvette.
time.
I had the
I
Corvette.
remember the
I had
Corvette.
the Skipper dolls. I had the
Mhm.
black Barbie. I had all of it. Yep. Why did I like Barbie?
The grow-up Barbie?
Envy. I mean, I don't know.
Because we had a lot of them at one time.
Now that being said, I do like the Molly, the American Girls doll.
Yeah.
Which I have that if you ever want to play with it, Eleanor. I let her stuff.
Notice she said play.
I didn't say you can have it.
Right.
Right, you can play with it.
You
You
can
can play with my toys.
Oh,
anytime.
look, it's like a little
As long
flower.
as they never leave my house. Actually, they don't even leave the school.
Did you want to do that on Aunt Bee's lap? You want to go over there and do it on the floor on the clipboard?
You want to show Sarah how to do it? Sure don't. Don't have to share.
Now,
Did you
Eleanor,
use
the
other-
interesting
there's a
thing,
blue marker right here too.
right? And the crayons will work too.
I don't know, mommy. It's kind of a fine point on that.
Yeah.
It is, and we got a pencil sharpener.
Where's that random number thing? Yeah, I lost it.
Dolls.
Oh, that's how I
just
get
love
dolls.
dolls. I don't know. You can dress them up.
Cool. You drawing? Oh, what are you drawing on with what?
Bring them everywhere.
Was it the Misfits that was the rival band?
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
We are the Misfits. We're gonna get you. We are the Misfits. We're gonna get
Fill that
you.
up for me. You got me
Catch
caught.
you.
Oh well, I'm playing this game with.
They were the villains. They weren't
You
supposed
color
to be.
it for me.
They weren't supposed to play songs you actually like.
Yeah, I had those with the gem. She had the earrings
You have
that
to bring it over here for me to draw too.
glowed. You had this little switch on the back, and then you had these earrings that glowed. Uh-oh.
Mama forgot her beard. There's that one. There's this one.
Something
Okay.
you don't need to repeat, baby.
Okay.
Why?
Because, son, I don't know. Did you try this weird one right here? I wonder what that
No,
means.
try your guitar. Your
You,
guitar.
all right. Well, let me flip it around this way. I'll do this
2.
I want to do the guitar.
I thought you wanted to do the guitar. Here,
What
let's
does it
flip it this
say?
way. You do the guitar.
That's different.
You do it.
It says.
Describe your, I can't read for your fingers. Describe your first meeting with the person on your right.
Munson?
That's my
That would be
Okay.
Pop's question.
That's not my question. That
Pop's
would be
question?
Eleanor.
Oh.
I think we already talked about that.
You got
Or
Pop
Buffy.
got it, guys.
Well, Buffy,
Pop
well,
got it,
Is there a
guys.
basketball game going on?
Daddy.
there was a basketball game going on.
And you and Leon busted me about being in labor during the basketball game.
Which one, was it me?
It
Did
was,
you and I go off
it
or
was
drunk?
some, it was some professional basketball game, so that really didn't count.
Why were you fussing at me? Saying I needed to hurry up and get over because
I
basketball
mean, you
game.
could write on another piece of paper and run it on the outside.
I don't know.
What I liked was the part where
It was a circle.
when Leon asked
What
you,
about this?
well, Henry, would you like to cut the cords? It was like this
You think
reverent
that would work?
moment.
Yeah.
She's laying on my belly. Would you like to cut the cord? And Henry stepped back and said, why the hell do you think I'm paying you $800?
Is that all it costs to give
Sounds like you might have been drinking.
No,
this
no.
was
This
sober.
is Sunday morning. This is cold soda.
Sunday morning.
That's
Nice.
harder.
Well, Sunday at 1 by the time she got here. But I mean, it was like, don't let, no, I'm not touching that.
Wow. I could Sarah's chord, but that's kind of weird.
Okay, I have a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What nicknames did you like, have, hate, or wish you had? My brothers called me Ape.
Ugh.
Yeah, all the way through late elementary school, all the way through middle school, junior high school, into high school. Ape, hey. And one of David Joe's friends was a friend of Danny's. His name was Robert Amy. They called him Rat Amy. So, it was, universal bad nickname kind of.
Oh, it's a stick of paper.
And Robert Amy, after in the 10th grade, when I was 11th grade, when I was looking pretty good then, he called me and asked me out.
Robert did?
No, Robert Amy, this guy that had called me Ape all through junior high school.
And you said?
And I said, gee, I'm so sorry, Robert. Ape is busy that night. And I felt pretty good. Of course, Sue is actually a nickname, and I like it. So,
That's the nickname you wish you had, is the one you
the
had.
one I got. So, there.
I guess I will try this generate thing. 2. I go 1, 2. What does that say there? Describe a favorite item in your childhood home. A favorite item.
Teddy.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I still got my teddy bear.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
The guitar that was hanging up in the dining room.
I remember that too. Yeah. Favorite item. I mean, all those are good items. I gotta think of those. I remember the piano. I used to have a lot of fun with the piano, and like for hide and seek, it was the bomb if you could get behind the piano because nobody'd ever find you.
I don't remember ever hiding there.
Exactly.
You could hide on top of the piano. I always imagine no one could see me.
I mean, one of my favorite items early on was the roof. I used to slide on the roof. That was fun.
Oh no.
And the trees, I remember the trees, we make forts up in the trees, like this limb would be Fort 1 and the next limb would be Fort 2 and
Next one will be Fort 3. Next one will be Fort 4.
Next thing you know, you'll be at 40.
I had a geodesic dome.
Probably at the time though, I would probably say like the computers. We went through all the computers. Those were probably my favorite items in the house. Like I mean, they were favorites enough for me to like go, hey, computer science might be something I want to do when I go into college.
Look at that.
Although musical things were also like my favorite, so I would say technology. bunch of stuff.
Like my flower, Mama.
I do. What is that?
Okay.
Although my favorite story about items would be like the one day we came home from school and all of a sudden there was a new waterbed and a new computer and a new stereo. Like all
That was
from-
when Uncle Walter fell apart.
I know, but like for us, it was like Christmas in the middle of. I mean, we didn't expect.
We
any
came
of that
home,
crap.
it's just like the
We came
whole
home,
hallway
all
full
this
of
cool
stuff.
stuff was on the
We
porch.
had to get it out of his apartment.
Right,
He
so-
got kicked out.
Man, I love that. It was a Tandy 1000. That was an awesome
I played a
computer.
lot of Tetris on that computer.
Man, that was a great computer.
Why did
man.
all that stuff come in your room?
Because he
That
got
was the
home.
first one to get home.
Yeah, he was the first. Yeah. He was the first one there, so half of the stuff was upstairs in his room by the time we showed up.
Half of the stuff nobody else in the house knew how to put together anyway.
So you say.
I mean, I'm saying.
Well, did you give us a chance?
I mean, I did not give you.
I ever tell you the story about
Right. And I know that was a terrible time in his life, but I remember that day specifically being like Christmas.
Wow.
We got a bunch of stuff.
I remember
Go ahead,
playing a
I'm
lot of Tetris on that computer.
Anyway, describe your favorite childhood toy or game.
Now let's see here.
I'd have to say it'd have to be the Lego.
That's not true. It's your whatchamacallit.
Eleanor, what an appropriate
The little box.
question.
The
It's
widget.
wonderful.
You mean the Gonculator?
Yeah, the gonculator. That's not
Well, the Gonculator has fond memories because my dad made that for me.
it. Okay.
But as far as being a toy or game, Lego
Okay.
Was the thing.
was the thing. In fact, I've still got my Lego.
Oh, that's awesome.
And no, you can't play with it. It's mine to play with.
Oh.
Eleanor, you can play with my Molly doll. You can't
Eleanor
have it.
shares her toys.
You
don't
can't have it, but you can play with it.
That's cool.
I have, a lot
Notice he
of,
said Lego.
I have a lot of accessories.
Where's your Lego?
Well, it's in a box, nice and secure.
It's in the lockbox. It's safe.
See, Eleanor is generous and she shares her things.
I'll share anything other than the Lego.
Like that one Lego? Like how?
No. It's enough that it's actually in two separate boxes. So, because it was a bunch of different sets of combined together over the years. It was the old school Lego.
Maybe Mr. Ernest can help you put yours together.
Oh, I'm
on
sure
Word that
Ernest
Make some interesting things.
Really?
4.
4.
And I think you were on here.
I was on
The nickname thing.
Yeah, I was with Mom on the nickname.
Okay. Tell about
Watch the edges of the
An
table.
aroma you recall from your childhood.
No, ma'am. That's not yours to play with.
Who?
I can't share this with you yet. I can share this. You like this photograph?
I'm reminded of the Bear Christmas book with all the aromas in it.
That's neat.
And I remember the Pat the Bunny book and trying to smell those damn flowers after years after it's probably gone away.
Yeah. Wow.
It always smelled like baby powder.
Yeah,
It did
for a while.
when it was new.
It,
We should have gotten Rebecca a Pat the baby, Pat the bunny.
what you call it? Kira and Munson got Eleanor a Pat the Beastie book.
Oh yeah.
Pat the Beastie.
Did it smell like baby powder?
It did not, but it is a great companion to Pat the Bunny.
If you like sniff, it's good.
Sorry. I got a splinter in my fan.
Siri, pick a number between 1 and 6.
The answer is 5.
That's even
Splinter,
more
you
fun.
might could get it out of that.
I think I just chewed it out.
That's even more fun.
5, please.
5 for the dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Where is the dinosaur now? Here. Let me see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you're supposed to be on the corner. Go to the woodshed. What does that mean? What does that
On
mean?
your next turn, tell a woodshed experience. Then move to the next memory square and answer card.
So do I don't tell a story this time?
Is that where you were though? Describe your childhood toy or game?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woodshed.
Thanks,
Dinosaur
Siri.
goes to the woodshed.
Do I have to tell a story this time or not this time?
I'd say go ahead and tell
I'd say
your
go ahead and tell your
woodshed
woodshed
story.
It's a time I got in trouble.
Yes.
You got
So-
sent to the woodshed.
When we were playing on the roof, I told you Mom was gonna know. And you said, no, she won't.
Got tar melted all over you.
And I remember
How old was I? I don't remember it being that old.
I mean, if I was Eleanor's age, you'd have been 11.
10-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bonnie's age. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 10.
Yeah, Bonnie's 10.
Yeah,
that makes
so-
sense.
Like Bonnie-ish age.
Okay.
So I just remember
Bonnie-ish age.
Mom trying to get that tar off my hands under the sink
There's no
in
way to get that
in
stuff
that
off.
green carpet bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
and
the
it was-
carpeted bathroom's a really good idea.
Gramps did that to us.
While you're up, would you get me another one of
And
those
she
splashes?
was like telling
Another
me
what?
like
Another one of the
and
splashes
then
from over
da
there.
da da and y'all come in and like she was and it hurt my hands because she was taking out all that fear on my little hands.
I'm sorry.
She was afraid because we were climbing on the roof. Who climbs on the roof?
A second story roof.
Nobody climbs on the
Not
roof.
even a first story.
Eleanor, nobody
second
climbs on the
story
roof. Don't climb on the roof. In
Why?
fact, because your roof's different than the roof we grew up on, and you'll fall.
True. True.
It's not a good roof,
Yeah.
the one you have. It was more fun at our house.
Yeah, all that talk.
Yours
Sorry.
were flat.
It had a flat spot in it. Get this. So you climb out of Mommy's room, and there was like a V.
I actually climb out of your window normally.
No. Mommy's room.
No, we go out of your room.
No, out of Mommy's room.
I go out of your room.
My room was on the front of the Johnstone Street. You're thinking of Janie's room.
No, Janie's room was on the front. Mine was on the front.
No,
yours was
mine
on the
Until
back.
you
No,
came
mine was
along.
on the
until
front.
no, he's thinking until you came along. That room was changed.
My room was the front room. Janie's room was on the back.
Y'all switched rooms in it. So
Yeah, we
did.
did.
Yeah, we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And
So I
in
was
fact,
thinking,
at
I'm
one
sorry.
point we decided we were
Out
going to
of
have
your
one
original
bedroom
room.
and one playroom.
Right.
Right.
And we put the TV in front of the chair, and then I don't remember how that fell
I don't
apart.
remember how it worked out, but anyway.
It didn't.
No, it didn't. All right, so, but yeah. So out of Janie's room.
Well, the back bedroom.
The back bedroom.
So there was a back
Not
bedroom,
Mom's
there was the
room, though, 'cause there was
bathroom,
a
Mom and
drop
Dad's
there.
room.
Right.
Right on the back. So you climb out the back bedroom.
That's right.
You climb up over the V that was like
That's right.
over the
And
bathroom.
then you got to slide
and then you
down.
slide
into
down
the-
to Mom and Dad's room, and then you could climb out Mom and Dad's room, and then you could even go. There was a V over the attic,
You could, but if
and-
you slid out that side, you'd fall to the ground.
but correct.
Right. I mean, I thought about it.
Well, no, you sent Janie up. It was like, wonder what happens if we go that way. And Janie's like, this doesn't work, my
Yeah,
son.
this doesn't work. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I tested it first. I actually sent Janie.
That was dangerous.
Correct.
Yes,
Correct.
it was.
Correct.
Yes.
Well, we made it.
I got a one. What does that say?
We made it. You gonna let Mom brush your hair?
Describe
Your favorite
childhood
toy.
toy or game.
Favorite childhood toy or game?
Are you listening to Roman Therapy?
Uncle Walter and I one year for Christmas
Oh, okay.
got an Alamo set. We built an Alamo fort and you had the little soldiers.
That's
and
awesome.
You had Santa Anna's men would charge the fort, and we had a lot of fun playing with that. And then one year we also got one similar to that, but it had the Civil War. And you know, I always had to fight to be the Yankees because Walter would
He
always
wouldn't want to be the Confederate.
be Confederate. But yeah, those were what we had.
Just had a thing for
They
underdogs.
were like plastic, you know, they were rubber. You know, the old ones were metal.
What
Like
would
the
you
Alamo ones were.
They were all rubber.
They were all rubber, but not plastic.
And the soldiers were rubber, and the before it was plastic. You could build a fort up, you had little ramparts, you put them up, and you had, some cannons.
That's cool. That's really cool.
That was pretty cool.
Hey, you Sarah.
Oh.
Birthday girl.
Yeah, you dancing?
Yeah. I'm just
Where we
standing. Yeah.
I thought we what we drawing with our colors right here? In your room. Okay, well let Daddy do one more turn and then I'll come back to the room with you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Keys.
Yes. Valuable.
You want some more?
Y'all got one of the proudest moments.
Look at that.
I see it. It's really good.
I made it with this. I made that with this.
Why don't you need them? Where would your cup go?
You would think it would be the smallest one.
Susie's gonna tell a story. Susie's gonna tell a
Come
story.
on, let's go in your room. I
It would be that all of
You
the
want more?
children
I give you some more
graduated from.
No, I can't.
Oh, you
It
can?
wouldn't be just a moment. It would be that all.
Go here, Sarah.
When you graduate
let's
from
go.
college.
No, it's in. Tell the proudest moment of your life. It would be when all 3 of y'all had graduated from college.
Yeah.
That all 3 of y'all made it through. Yeah. When you say,
Yeah. I think we're losing Munson.
yeah, I think it is.
See, I would have thought it was like some professional accomplishment.
I haven't had any.
We went to NYU for a lecture.
I mean, that was pretty impressive. I was like, yeah, Mom got invited to go. Oh, we said
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just smoking a cigarette. Oh, you're on.
Yeah, that was exciting. That was.
What was the question?
What was the proudest moment of your life?
Mom said it was when we graduated college, and I said, well, I thought it would have been like another professional accomplishment.
Look at that.
I myself am very proud of the fact that I can say my mom worked with Planned Parenthood to try and get sex education taught in schools. Wouldn't that give you a commission on women?
Yeah. We got the South Carolina legislature to pass that
Yeah.
bill.
I mean, I would.
What's independence?
Of course, it's all going to be rescinded soon.
Well, I'm just saying.
It's all going to be for naught, but, you know.
It happens like that at
Did
times.
you want to write something on my pad?
What?
What?
Oh, no.
She has her pad right here, Pop.
Roll it nice way.
Here's your pad.
What you got?
3,
I don't know your code.
4.
What's your code?
The only number that you gotta remember is
4.
5,
Hey. Oh, you want me to make you some mac and cheese?
3.
What are you the most squeamish about?
You go 2 under 5 to 2 above 5.
It's yours, so I don't have to remember any numbers.
Squeamish.
Beamish.
Mommy, do you wanna play Minecraft?
Right now.
Wow, like anytime there's blood involved, like I get slightly squeamish. Not if it's my own blood, but if I'm trying to help somebody
Wouldn't it be
else
better
and
if we
there's
did it
blood
on a
involved.
double screen?
Yeah, that would be like where I get squeamish.
Don't do that.
That and like animals that I know are dangerous.
I will suck
I'm squeamish if there's a copperhead, not if there's a snake. But if there's a copperhead, I'm going to be squeamish because I
Yes.
know what it's capable of.
Yes.
Because I'm not
I
stupid.
need.
There's a story about you when you were on a solo camping trip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And you
That's
saw
scary.
Siri, give me a number
copperhead?
between 1 and 6.
I was collecting wood. I'm gonna start a fire. Here's a stick, and I go down to grab this stick, and like about 5 feet from me, like over here, is coiled up a freaking copperhead. And like every freaking way that I could think of to kill the thing, like went through my head, like
I can make a bow and arrow out of a stick. I can take a rock and throw it at her, but it might run the wrong way.
You know? So I just like backed up and like watched it until like one of the counselors came up and he got a big old rock and then we sprung it.
What was the most difficult thing you ever had to do?
Gary. I was
At least you knew what it was when you
That's the
saw
most
it.
afraid I think I've ever been.
Well,
At least you knew
There's
what it
all the drama
was.
stuff. You know?
You knew what it was. That's
I
a
knew
good
what it
thing.
was and I was scared.
I've never been in the best of physical shape. Not largely
All
because of my
I
weak
want
fall.
to do is ask
So I'd have to say the most difficult thing I actually did was march about 12 miles in the Mardi Gras parade in high school.
Yay! You did it.
It's a
You
long
did it.
way. You
got
finished.
There are a lot of us, I think, who fall into that category.
We could figure out a way to silence it. If you want to turn it on and see if there's like a way to mute the volume.
Describe a favorite item in your childhood home.
Probably the huge cabinets, like the one in the playroom that, like, you could go up to tippy top and use like a fork.
I mean, that one has more options than the other.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep, I do. I don't know how you got up there, but it did make a good hideout.
It did. It did.
I got a 2.
You're the
Dinosaur.
oh, that's right.
No, wait a minute. You have to
Oh, I
go
have
to
to go to the
memory
next memory
square.
So and this would be the next memory square. So yeah.
I'll read it.
What is the first thing that comes to your mind about any one of your grandparents?
I remember sitting out on the porch with Granny at the lake and her saying, we would just be waiting on dark. We'd just be waiting on night. And it'd be like starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I see, wish I may, wish I might, have the wish I wish tonight. And I remember sitting out there talking to her about her brother whose plane went down in New Guinea in like 1943 something. And I was like, but Granny, he may still be alive. And she's like, baby, he's gone. No, he landed in the Philippines.
She told me like it was like some sort of like, he might have landed on some kind of island with cannibals or something.
He did. Yeah, they were cannibals. Yeah.
Yeah, there were cannibals in.
So my
in
roommate,
New
second
Guinea.
year in college, is from the Philippines, and so I was like, well, my uncle went down to the Philippines, and I was like, aren't y'all cannibals? She's like, I'm not from that island. It's a different island. Apparently, there's hundreds of islands.
Yeah.
Depends on whether it's high tide or low tide as to how many islands there are in the Philippines.
Did you get it in the water or on the island?
They actually knew that they got a letter. They didn't recover his body, so they couldn't declare him
dead.
They had to declare him missing. But they got a letter from 2 or 3, that person in Vermont that they stayed in touch with. They saw his plane go into the water in flames. They
That's
knew
the best thing that could have happened to
they
him.
knew that he was
died,
gone.
yeah.
They knew he was gone. But without the recovery of the body,
Versus being like alive in the Philippines.
right, they knew that he wasn't coming back.
Okay, good.
And didn't Baba see the ghost?
And
Yeah,
Baba saw him on the front wall
before they got the
before they got the telegram.
Like
She
the
saw
day it
him
happened,
standing. As a matter of fact, right about where we have the fountain. That fountain wasn't there until the
Was Bob and Grant's master bedroom your bedroom?
but she was sweeping the porch that morning and looked up, and he was on the front wall like he was coming home.
That's very loud.
And right about midway down the front wall, about where the fountain is,
He just
he disappeared.
Hey.
And she knew then that he was gone.
That's Mommy.
Okay, well,
And that was
that's cool.
before
What
they
did
got
Mommy
the
say?
telegram. That was before they knew.
That was like her favorite.
Huh?
She has Mommy.
Her favorite son, you mean?
Yep, and Mama said.
No, I mean.
Oh, Granny, yeah, definitely.
Mama can take it to the beach.
But you see that fountain, we wouldn't have redone that walk except that Hazel was supposed to pull up the sewage pipe from next door. And they had,
But I was
we
playing
like to
this
say,
game.
a cowboy on a backhoe. And when he was supposed to take up one section of the pipe
Here,
and
right
then
here.
go to the other side and take up the other section of the pipe. And instead, he took up the whole thing and took the walk with it.
Well, we still have the wall.
Yeah, we do, sections of it. You've got some, and we've got some in the back. But, yeah, that's what happened.
I thought you were
But
going to
she
go with
knew.
Mama, because Mama said you go to the beach.
But I'm glad you have that good memory.
Okay, well, I'm gonna
Granny
play
sitting
this
on
game.
sitting on the lake. That's sweet.
She had cactuses down there.
Yeah, and those little
Mom,
those little pigs.
I'm gonna let you
These
choose
little
any
stone
word that
pigs.
says
I'm not
pig.
stone pig.
I think I remember some little stone pigs near the cactus. There was some like stone thingies,
Henry, you gonna
like
roll?
gargoyle
My
like
turn.
things.
Where's the roller?
I want to say they were like little pigs.
I don't remember the pigs, but the cactuses were Rose. That was her idea.
I remember the cactuses.
Yeah, Rose. Rose had a lot.
Three.
Valuable.
Did you see that?
Alright.
It said Minecraft.
In what way do you look or act like your
Did you
parents?
see that?
I don't know. Well, my dad was always good
All of these
with
details.
arithmetic and math, so I was good at arithmetic.
I last time.
So,
Your mom
You don't
couldn't
say-
cook well either.
You don't say. You don't say any phrases or do anything that kind of remind you of them.
no, I can't think of any.
Your mother loved to read. And you sure do love to read.
You're talking about
And,
Granny?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she liked to read like Reader's Digest.
She read all
read
things.
all
She
kinds.
read everything.
Okay. Well,
Pop
it was
goes
all
to-
up.
And your dad loved every new gadget that came down the pike. And you
So
love
did
every
your
new
dad.
gadget that
Yeah,
comes
he
down
did
the
like
pike.
all these new gadgets.
He had the first computer in Newberry County, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
And he also had one of the first people, he got a tape recorder.
Yep.
He ran around and recorded everybody at Christmas time on his
Just-
tape recorder.
Don't you have some of those?
I put it up on YouTube. Like that,
Yeah.
that blew my mind because I've never heard his voice before. That really was cool. That was really special to me.
But he loved new gadgets. I've heard Uncle Walter talk about that a lot. And you are fascinated by those things.
No, you were real good about that when we were kids too. Like every time I turned around, it was like something new.
Yeah.
Yep. And the TRS, and then the
Beta.
Tandy, and
Remember
then,
that printer?
yep, the
Hey,
Commodore
Pro.
64, the Texas Instruments
Is
with
he
the
supposed to be here if
cartridges.
it's creative
And
mode?
there's one thing that's just all you. Neither of your parents was real big about traveling.
Travis, you.
Daddy,
Yeah.
Daddy, Daddy.
But they were bored.
Well, they could travel to the Lake Murray
And
Vermont?
back. if-
and back.
And
Why do you need to go somewhere?
Daddy, Daddy.
When Nella and I were on our first date, I said, well, if you could go anywhere in the world, like, where would you go? And he's like,
We can watch the
I mean, I go to Charleston
Oh, okay, good.
sometimes.
You better, what, go get,
But
put
apparently
your
you
swimmies
said
on.
you want to go to New Orleans.
You need to put your
No, I
swimmies
said New
on.
Orleans. I mean, I've been there, but that's another place I'd like to go if I travel.
So this year so far, we've been to Vietnam, New Orleans, Florida,
That's
and
pretty
here.
good. that's a
Why
good
is San
year.
Francisco on your list?
It isn't on my list. Iceland's on my list.
I want to think about San Francisco. It's got a really nice culinary
I mean, I've
tradition.
been to San Francisco.
What did Mark Twain say? The
The
Coldest
summer I ever spent was a summer.
The
coldest
coldest winter I ever spent was
was
a
a
summer
summer
in
in San
San
Francisco.
Francisco.
All right.
That's funny.
Mark
Oh, what was it?
Twain
He
was a
said that
hoot.
smart thing to that lady, and she said, "Utah, drunk," and he says,
No,
yes.
that was Winston Churchill.
That was Winston
That was
Churchill?
Winston Churchill. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, about
He
and
was-
when
he was a-
tomorrow I'll be sober and you'll
You'll
still be ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
Winston
was
Churchill.
It's not like he was this pretty guy anyway.
No, but well, in his younger years, he was quite a handsome.
Yeah, well, in the movie I saw
He
him.
just had a uniform. That's all it was.
He was quite handsome. Name the presidents who served during your lifetime.
Okay, that's a long list, Mom.
I was actually born on June 1952, which wasn't that right at the very end of Truman?
Yeah.
So actually Truman was still serving when I was born,
Yeah.
but went right into Eisenhower.
Right.
Eisenhower was elected that year. So then you had John F. Kennedy. Then you
Everybody
had
loved him.
Lyndon. No, not everybody did. I remember beating up Ricky Bishop because he didn't like John F. Kennedy.
He was Catholic.
He was a Nixon. Yeah, yeah.
It was
Ricky
Catholic.
Bi-
I heard my preacher preach against it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
nobody around here.
You
liked
might not
him
vote
'cause he
against
was
for a Catholic because the Pope will be telling you what to do.
Pope will be the president.
Then you had
We can
Lyndon
go to the
Johnson.
beach now, Dad.
Then you had Nixon.
All right, go tell Mama to put on your swimsuit.
You had the clown Jerry Ford. Uncle Walter when Munson was born, he had this little clown he gave him, and he had Munson when he was just a baby. He says,
I remember that real well.
Jerry Ford is a clown. Jerry Ford is, and he winded up.
Richard
and he-
Nixon is a crook.
Crook. Jerry Ford is a clown. And Richard Nixon is a
Yeah,
crook.
yeah.
And he did. He had him this little clown, and he played the little clown, and Munson was just like.
I'm gonna be doing the same thing with this president.
So anyway, then
You'll be able to use the same name.
from Nixon, we went to Jerry Ford, and then we went to Jimmy Carter, a little breath of fresh air.
Mommy, I'm watching.
And then from Jimmy Carter, we went to Bush the First.
Don't forget
After
Ronald.
Bush-
Oh, is Ronald Reagan Bush the first? Bush the first was in office with Ronald Reagan.
Oh, that's right. From Jimmy Carter, we went to Ronald Reagan.
I mean, you could consider that like all George Bush if you wanted to, and I would be with you on
And
that.
there's a funny story about that. When I was going to vote for Jimmy Carter again, your dad was going to vote for Ronald Reagan. And I asked him to watch the children when he came home from lunch so that I could go vote for Jimmy Carter. And he says, no, because I'm voting for Reagan. I'm not going to sit here and watch the kids while you go cancel out my vote. So I called the maid. And I said, would you come and work while I go vote? And so I paid her, I think it was $4 an hour we were paying her, $4 or $5 an hour, to come and watch y'all while I went to vote. And then I said, when I came back, I said, well, have you voted yet? And she said, no. And I knew she was going to vote for Jimmy Carter. So not only did I pay her while I canceled out his vote, but then I drove her to the polls so she canceled it out again. But Reagan still won.
Well, I mean, I was just thinking from the perspective of like George the First being in office, or at least in the White House circle since Nixon all the way through,
Well, true.
and it's probably beyond if you want to count
But
it.
then we got
George
Bill
W.
Clinton,
Anyway.
and then we got Bush the second, who stole it,
Right? Who
outright
stole
stole it
it? Who stole it?
From Al Gore.
from the Supreme Court. And remember Anthony Kennedy, who was about to.
That's right.
He gave it to him.
That's right. You did.
On a silver platter.
You did.
And actually a mob in a courthouse in Florida, it was a mob rule, gave it to him. And so he was never, in my opinion, a legitimate president. Although he's far superior to what we have now.
I never thought I would ever say that.
I never thought I would ever say that.
I'm with you.
But anyway, then we had,
Obama. Don't forget Obama.
I'm just so, I'm trying to figure out if what we have now is a president.
Well, if he had his way, it'd be dictatorship. But
Well, that's what I'm getting to. I think now we have a dictatorship. So I don't know that it's a president.
I don't know. I think there's just some
It is
checks.
a.
There are checks
what do
and
you-
balances.
No,
there.
but what? No, they're not. They're not giving him any checks or any balances. Well, they're giving him checks. They're not giving him balances.
Well, he's not having his enemies assassinated like Putin.
No,
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Well, Hillary's
Do
still
you know
alive.
what? Do you know what?
That's
No,
true.
no. He needs a
He
punching
needs
bag.
somebody to
He needs a
I
punching bag.
never thought I would, when he said during that debate, you know, you would be in jail, I had chills. When
That's
he said
the
that
Tim
to Hillary,
Dictator.
I
That
mean,
is
oh my
a-
God.
That's
Oh,
the
you
third
know,
world
when
country
he was
kind.
like, you know, when I'm president, you'll be in jail because, well, I mean, that's chilling.
He
Let
still
me
lost the
explain
popular
something.
vote. And I think part of the reason why people didn't get out to vote is because we all thought Hillary had won. I mean, in that regard,
I knew. I told
I know, she
Really?
said it a while, yeah.
I
She
told
said,
you.
never in my, what did you say? Whenever you have a 4-year, an 8-year, 2-term, you always have it replaced. Isn't that what you said?
No, I knew what was going on with Russia. I could see
Okay.
it on Facebook. I knew. I kept telling Lynn that this was going to happen, and Lynn kept telling me no, I was wrong, that was crazy. This whole thing, the meeting with Putin, there's also going to be a meeting where the thing with South Korea, with North Korea, where he just talked to him by himself, same thing's going to happen with this Russia thing.
What does that mean?
He's going to be talking to Putin without anybody else in the room,
Wow.
without any record of what's said.
And that's what happened with North Korea?
Yeah. Only him and the translators were in the room. There was no record of the initial meeting. He's going to pull the same thing with Putin because now that he has a precedent of that, but he needs to talk to Putin. I would not be surprised if he didn't ask Putin for political asylum. And leave it with Pence. Because he's done pretty much everything that was on Putin's wish list. He's already done his mission. And he's got to keep the family money. He's done everything he needs to do except pardon his children. He may have to stay in there a little bit longer to pardon his children. That's the only thing left undone.
Depends on what he's got with Pence.
Well, Pence is, he has wrecked us internationally. Anyway, so those are the presidents. I got that card. I guess that's mine. Here. You're gonna roll. Go.
Joseph Kennedy, 2020.
Joseph Kennedy.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
That'd be great. There's 3. I got a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Valuables.
Yeah, but if we keep talking about asylum for all immigrants, we're not gonna win anything. The Democrats are. Why are we doing that? That's stupid.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if we've been infiltrated by crazy people.
I don't know, like that whole thing, like.
Separating kids at the border was.
No, I mean that's over the
That's
top.
wrong.
That's wrong. That's crazy.
But asylum for all immigrants is also crazy.
Well, I mean, from a legal standpoint, right? Any immigrant who approaches the border
No,
can ask
you
legally
judge, you
for
can ask
asylum.
for it, but that doesn't mean you give it to them.
Right,
And
right,
when they're
right. No,
talking
no,
about
absolutely.
abolishing ICE, that's.
No, really? That is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm beginning to think that they've been infiltrated by people who are trying to defeat us from the inside. Go.
That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, that whole that's crazy. Like,
What are you building? That's a puzzle.
see, what is the most satisfying or dissatisfying part of your work? The most satisfying part of my work is that I get to help people.
Daddy, please play with me.
So, I enjoy helping people. They ask for some song that they love, and then I find a way to teach it to them.
You know what I think, Sarah? I think maybe you got a little in your bottom. What do you think?
You know how to do a 200-piece puzzle with Sarah?
Well, see, there are different ways to play puzzle. I can show you one easy way to play puzzle. Are you ready to play puzzle? All right, here we go.
Take
All
it
right,
apart
there
and
it
put it in
is.
the box.
All right, but then hold on. All right, my turn. All right, your turn.
No, we do it.
Oh, but okay, you do it first then. Oh, you want to put it together or put it together?
Put it together.
Oh, well, that's a whole different game. I thought we were gonna play throw it in the box.
Okay, whose turn?
My turn.
It's your turn.
All right. Are you gonna do generator or are you gonna roll the dice?
3.
All the dice will only get up to 3 numbers. Right?
1, 2, 3. Describe a favorite item in your childhood home.
Okay, Buster.
You're gonna put them together.
No, you put it in there and look like it.
This is going to sound odd, but I'm going to say it's the wet dry vacuum we kept in the garage because every so often it would flood.
Cool. That's right.
Very practical.
Very practical. Yeah. Preparation.
I mean, it was this big thing, and you know, we tried to put in a French drain so as to help keep it dry, which helped most of the time, but it was, you know, the driveway sloped down right towards the garage.
Yeah, ours does that a little bit. We're gonna have to do something about it at some point.
I got a 6.
Name your aunts and share a memory of one.
Oh, what's that? Let's hear what is that?
I remember Aunt Laurie when she got breast cancer. Because I could never understand. She always ate so healthy and she always exercised and all that kind of stuff. And then after, that's a good game, Sarah.
It's the new puzzle.
They were pushing this initiative, national certification. I remember Mom asked her if she wanted to do it, and she said no. After the cancer, she had a whole new set of priorities, and that was not one of them.
Okay.
Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 6.
6.
Awesome.
Down the sword. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are on valuables. There's a valuable card.
Describe an embarrassing moment in your life. Awesome. I'm thinking alternate.
Yep. Alternate. Truth or dare. No.
Say the alphabet as fast as you can. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Wow, that was really quick.
Not a baby seen that on
So do American.
Randomly, we were watching on Sesame Street. And on Sesame Street, they have some really cool like alphabet songs with some really, really famous people. And like, if you ever get a chance to check out Usher's version of the ABC song, it's really cool.
Oh.
What is your favorite sport to watch or play? Why?
Basketball being good.
Baseball. Why? Because it's a lot like life. It seems like nothing's happening, and then something very important happens and you gotta do something real quick. Or you make an error.
True.
No.
That's a good
That's
word.
profound.
That is profound. That's deep. That is very deep.
2.
Describe a favorite item in your childhood home.
Favorite item.
In my grandmother's house, nobody wants the piano. And I love the piano. We would gather around the piano with my cousins, and that was how I learned how to sing harmony. And I taught myself, essentially, my cousin Lizzie showed me where the notes were on the piano, and I taught myself how to play. It's beautiful.
One of my fondest memories is you playing the piano and us running around the dining room table.
Or hiding out underneath it.
Hiding underneath the table, isn't it?
You'd have been awful skinny to hide behind the piano and
Where you
home I grew up in, because it was one of those spinets that was right up against the wall.
I know, but these guys stay in their pockets, don't they?
Ours was against the wall. Our piano was against the wall.
What's against the wall?
Our piano. Piano.
Your piano's against the
Wall.
It's against the wall.
No.
Yeah, they're gonna string it up.
I was very, very confused.
String it up how?
It's a joke because pianos have strings on the inside that vibrate and make noise.
Sound.
Depends on who's playing it.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
1, 3. That's another 4 for me.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is that?
Describe your yard at the home you liked best.
At the point I like it.
Sarah.
Describe your yard at the home you liked best.
Oh wow. I mean, I remember. I remember Johnstone Street. That was a fun yard. We had a playhouse in the back, and we had the hammock in the back. And we
Remember
had,
the sand pit where you buried all your Star Wars
had
figures?
the sand pit with the, where we buried all the but then there was like
We
Toad's
played
house where
war.
we buried Star Wars things, and like where we buried the cats after they died. And then we had the zip line running from the tree house. It wasn't really a tree house. It was like a platform that went into like the jungle, which was all the backyard with all the bamboo. And then we had the stone table, which is
Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
yeah. And then there was
Like the Lion Witch and Wardrobe.
yeah, but then like the side of the house though, like it was like these old trees that were overgrown with ivy, and like you could go behind them, and it was like these weird little secret spaces. It was like a little secret ivy garden or something like over there. And then there was the tires that we got to make like spaceships out of. And there was the play set with the
How was our sandbox, those tires?
there were the tires that were the sandbox that were near the house, but then we eventually dissected them and made other things out of the tires. But there were these particular tires that like flanged out.
Yeah, that was our spaceship.
That was a
Sandbox.
spaceship. There was like one on the bottom and then one on the top. And then
Uncle
man, that
David
thing
got
was
us
cool.
those. That was big
Those
equipment
were
tires.
cool. Those were
He had them
cool.
cut and come to our house.
And Uncle Robert got you all those milk crates that you stacked on
Oh
top
man,
of
we
each
love
other.
those
Yeah.
milk crates. Those
Yeah.
milk crates were
Uncle
awesome.
Robert got you those.
And it's always seemed like we were always in the backyard, like trying to make stuff, like trying to make the platform for it in the tree. And then there was the magnolia tree in the front yard.
I love that tree.
That was a beautiful tree. It's still a beautiful tree.
It doesn't have Christmas lights in it anymore though.
1,000 points.
I mean, they were trying to sell the house.
Frank Nels went up there and climbed that tree and got all those things out of there. Just sell the house.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
At Christmas, Ernest,
Yeah.
Uncle Walter would put
Just one Christmas.
Just one Christmas.
Oh,
The
just
year
one.
that President Bush did the speech about 1,000 points of light, Uncle Walter decided that he was going to put 1,000 points of light in the magnolia tree in our front yard on Johnston Street.
and
They
then he
stayed
never
there
took it down.
until
Took it down
until Frank Downs took it down.
because he was trying to sell the house, and people kept saying, "Where are all those Christmas lights?" But Uncle Walter climbed the magnolia tree to put them up there.
Yep.
And he would come over every night.
That's a
and he'd
good
play
climbing
with him.
tree. Magnolia trees are good climbing trees.
It really is. And you really couldn't tell him no. You just couldn't.
Well, they really didn't ask permission.
No.
You know what, Sue?
He was
That's
just
what I
so
remember about
proud.
my
You
favorite
know, he'd
dog.
come in and he'd say, I put up another 200 likes tonight. That's nice.
And I see that it's cool because our yard. I mean, I feel like I try and make stuff, you know, or like y'all have given us stuff that like kind of makes our yard kind of cool like that for our kids.
Is it almost over?
I'm a few spaces
What would you
from
do
the
if
end,
it was
Eleanor,
over,
But it's
Eleanor?
Ernest's turn.
Yes.
What would you do if
Are
it was
you gonna
over,
generate
Eleanor?
Might as well.
Would we play a different game, or would we just like say like, oh, that's enough game for today?
What time is it?
It's almost 8 o'clock. Ellen, do you want
5.
do you want to read a chapter in the Boxcar Children book?
Sort of.
Sound good?
What family incident is often talked about? Well,
You gonna tell the beach story?
No.
The beach picture?
well,
Beach picture.
that would be a funny story. Although I don't remember it being talked about. It was just where we came
Oh,
across
okay.
that when we were doing it. But it'll do. Have a picture of my grandmother and my mom. They were at the beach somewhere near St. Pete, because that's where Albert and Holly lived.
Near Tampa.
Yeah. But anyway, it must have been my Grandpa Al who was taking the picture, and it had my grandma Marzella bending over to pick something up, probably a shell, and Al taking a picture from not exactly the most flattering of angles, with my mom looking, oh my gosh, in the picture.
Nice.
Oh, take that.
Right, I can't believe you just said that very well. I'll show it to you next time y'all come to the house. Yeah.
Never forget it.
Unforgettable.
One.
110 is the
Memories.
Who's all alone in the moon?
What did your parents do for fun?
I think the real question is, what didn't my parents do for fun?
That's it? That's all we get?
Yeah.
That's all we
That's
get.
all you get.
That was it.
I
What my
remember.
parents did for fun.
I remember one time my parents going to an Elton John Billy Joel concert and coming back with a t-shirt for Buffy, and I was very distraught because I had bought Mom, I know, at least 3 Billy Joel albums that I had since confiscated.
I remember
remember
when I was at, just tangentially about some slight you did me. When I was on a chorus trip to Florida, I call home and I say, "Hey, Janie, what y'all up to?" And you were like, "Oh, we saw what was it like? It wasn't Better Off Dead. It was like it's this black and white movie."
Reservoir Dogs?
No, I wanted to see it for a long time, and it was about this woman, and like there's this murder that happens like in the 40s or something, and then so like play it forward to like the 90s, and like I can't remember the name of the movie. Do you remember this?
Yeah,
Nope.
I
You
do.
don't? Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
Do you remember the name of the movie?
I really wanted to see this movie.
It was Emma Thompson
Yep.
and Kenneth Branagh.
I really wanted to
It was
see
a
this
really
movie.
good movie.
Really wanted to see this movie for a long time, and they were like, later, Buffy, later, we'll watch this movie. I leave town. What does Janie get mom and dad to do? Watch this one movie I had been harping on for like 3 months. And
when
I was
you
like,
got back, we watched it together.
yeah, why did you watch it without me?
Because then I wouldn't know all the parts that happened.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to spoil it for her during the film?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Dead Again.
Dead, that's the name of it. Dead Again. Yep.
Yeah.
So
With the scissors.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. What's the scissors?
I think I might have seen that.
It was good.
It was really good.
A good movie. Mm-hmm. Watch without me. Course trip, Florida, out of town.
All right, cool.
Couldn't come.
It's nice to know you don't harbor any resentments.
I mean,
that
I'm
fact.
just saying. That's a fact. That happened.
That happened.
I don't even remember. I just remember watching that movie.
I
with
just remember
you.
calling
It was good.
home. Like, if you ever call home for anything, don't talk to her. She's gonna tell you exactly what you don't want to know.
That's right.
Like all the
Hey,
things.
Janie, how's it going?
Well, now that you mention it.
Well, the dog died. You remember that story?
Yes, I
The
do.
dog died. Why the dog died? Why the dog? Well, he ate some bad horse meat. Burnt horse meat. What? Well, you know the
When the barn
candles,
burned
the
down.
candles around the coffin. What coffin? Well, you know
When your mama died.
your mama
It does sound like a Jamie thing. It does kind of sound like
Andy and I used to tell that story at the Carolina Jubilee.
Let's talk about the dog died.
Oh, I do remember that.
Well, I mean, nothing just happened. Just the dog died.
It
That's
does
all.
sound very Jamie.
Sorry. That wasn't.
I
the
pulled a
movie.
Janie
It
the
was.
other day. We saw a movie, and in the first 10 minutes of a character getting introduced, I revealed a secret that I thought about that character to Caleb and ruined that part of the whole dipsy doodle at the end of the movie.
That would make you Uncle Walter.
That would make you Uncle.
I always think of you because you do that same
That's
thing
Uncle Walter.
sometimes.
That's Uncle Walter.
Just so you know.
Janie's gonna defend herself.
No, this is my.
I mean, I always think Janie's like that because like Janie sees something,
Uncle
she's
Walter
like,
a lot of
Say it.
times.
She's gonna say it.
Uncle Walter a lot of times would tell me which person did it in Perry Mason.
That's what I'm saying. It's like that.
That's how I
Oh, that's how you It was Walter messing with me through you. Is that what you're saying?
No, we would go to a
This
regular.
changes my whole.
Yes, it would.
Forget when Katie Green, we were playing Dungeons and Dragons,
That's right.
and she would always just like, I don't feel like fighting today.
No, we would
And
be
she
we would
like,
be
sneak
fighting
around.
the boss.
Yeah.
And
She
she
would
would-
sneak around, steal the treasure,
Get
and
the
head back
money.
to town.
Yep.
And then
And
she
it
would
didn't
get
happen just
experience
once.
points.
It used to
For
always
the
happen.
treasure.
Right. It used to always happen. Always. It's always
Just
happen.
like that.
Just like that. Yeah, that would happen. But yeah, so I felt
That was my
I guess I was
If
being
you
more
could
like
take
Uncle
Uncle
Walter
Walter
than you.
to a first run movie that's just opened.
I mean, that's what
day,
that's
Who's
what we
in
were.
this?
Uncle Walter within the first 10 minutes will tell you how it's going to end. And it used to infuriate me. I said, Uncle Walter, I would take you to this movie,
Don't do it this time.
but you have to promise me that you will keep your...
I didn't tell Caleb how it ended. I just said, "Hey man, that girl could be da 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 because this movie's all about da 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 da." And he was like, "You're right." And I was like, "Yeah, let's see what happens." And like an hour and a half later, that got revealed, and we were like, "Oh man, it's that thing that you said it was."
The only time I've ever really predicted was in that movie.
I always think of
with
you with the
Edward
predictions, but I guess that was Walter messing with me
Yeah,
through you.
he would normally tell me
Well, dang
which
it.
one I needed to guess.
He's always messing with me.
What were we saying, Edward Norton?
Yeah, that's Primal Fear with Edward Norton and Richard Gere. I was able to figure that one out.
I can't figure any of them out. Like these cozy books that are just like bum ba bum, but like 1 + 1 is 2 Buffy, and I'm like, I don't know, it's a double surprise for me. Mine.
If it's getting close to 8, did we want to continue tomorrow?
I think we got one more turn around, don't we?
Yeah,
Okay.
Munson's just about done.
I almost am at the
Munson's
end.
gonna get a 6 this time.
Okay.
We're gonna get he's actually gonna get
Well,
like
that was my memory and Buffy's resentment, so now it's Dad's turn.
I don't
That's right.
resent that.
And
I
now
just
everybody
noticed
gets
that.
×2 on their rolls, so we end the game quick.
Mommy did that.
It's ×2 on your roll,
Hey,
Tom.
hey! Is he potty trained? He can't just be using the bathroom and
Hey
using
Siri,
out.
pick a number between 1 and 20.
one.
Hey Siri, pick a different number. You're really bad at this.
After all I've done for you.
Yeah. Oh, just name one thing.
I'm not sure I understand.
Hey Siri, pick a number between 2 and 20.
I am
15.
You got a 15, Dad.
Cool.
I'm coming to get you. And she always gets me to
Sarah, step foot.
All right, Dad's in the lead. It says describe your first meeting with the person on your left.
Who's the driver?
That's a good one.
Yeah, y'all got the first slave tape. There you go.
That's a good one. Hey, what's your favorite Percy Sledge song?
When a man loves a woman.
That's your favorite one?
Yeah.
Is it still?
There's another one, he said, takes time to know her.
Takes time to know her.
It's not over. I took her home to mama.
Look at this.
And mama said,
I have like
take time to know her.
Take time to know her.
It's not an overnight fling.
That can hurt.
Take time to know her. Please don't rush into
The
this.
dogs can hurt you in Minecraft.
Cool.
Here, do you want to sit in
But
the
I
chair
didn't
owner?
listen to my mother. I went straight to the church.
Is the chair like
Where's that in the
nice
song?
Yeah.
just scoot, and it'll just your butt will just naturally fall into the chair at this point.
See, I think I smell some poopy.
Scoot.
Where did you
Look,
put the other pieces to this puzzle?
Where's the other pieces to the puzzle?
She's taking it around.
Whatever you
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Valuable.
Nothing.
What was the most courageous thing you ever did? Have children.
Thank you.
I don't think I have to dispute that.
There you go.
I'm gonna roll my dice 4 times.
Thank
1,
God, Heavenly Father.
3, 6. I got a 9.
Eleanor, you know I'm not a dog person, so
Probably
you
puts
can't
me
leave me here
close
with
to
your
you.
wolves.
I have to roll
Take
that
your wolves
exact
from the
number.
metal. He'll watch them for
All
you.
right, what's the plan?
Is it like that? But isn't there something I'm supposed to do, and everybody else has a chance to get there, like encore, or is it not work like that?
I think it's 8:07. Congratulations.
It's time to just but I went first though, right?
I'm leaving them with my
Okay, all right. Y'all ain't cool with that. All right. Well, I really appreciate the
The
stories.
other puzzle pieces probably.
We're gonna do
come
that.
back.
I see there's a Minecraft game here.
There is.
Now, Eleanor, did you ask Uncle Munson, are y'all going crabbing again tonight or not tonight? What are your
flashlight?
What?
You know what? It's all clear.
Eleanor?
You come to the table.
Eleanor.
You what?
I'm making a schedule.
Are you?
What I did? Baby Sarah. Baby Sarah. Put the thing.
Put the dog down.
What are you doing?
Eleanor,
Hey, could you pick up the Rocky? Look, Rocky's all along. You gonna pick him up?
Yeah, all the rest of the pieces through the puzzle.
Caleb, I didn't say it was time yet.
Yeah, come on, it's time to go change that diaper.
You can't play in another room, can you? Can you? You can't play in another room.
Come on, Mama needs some water. You going to help?